this a coincidence that as pressure is ramping up on
Wait, Politico
Trump?
announced what? Investigation into Trump.
Yeah,
By whom?
I put it down in the purple pill.
But
So a
I don't
new
need you to promote. Like, just
allegation.
tell me by whom.
It's a new allegation. So
No, listen.
it's
One second. You said that he's being investigated. Investigated. I'm asking who's investigating him.
no. I'm saying there's a new allegation. The
Oh, it's a
FBI
new allegation.
released a new
Okay. All right.
document.
Cool.
Yeah, the FBI released another document.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. They
all.
said they're
So,
releasing
yeah.
47,000 documents. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Let me just read these super chats. 10. Thank you to Ricky. Saying thanks. Thank you. Thanks to the super chats by Dawasham. I'd rather Putin be my president Netanyahu. Wink, wink. This $2 identifies as $50. Well, we don't believe in wokeness. Suleiman, for the love of God, get Manko off the stage. No one cares about his chart. That was a while ago. Manko is extremely disrespectful to Andrew. Why is the government panicking and begging other countries to join if they have money to burn? There's facts and then there's Mango's garbage. He spews. Tate has run away to Oman. Dubai is safe though. Yo, did you see Daniel Brazani's response to Mufti Menk? Yeah, we did. It was hilarious. Um, okay, the rest of them I answered, didn't it? Wait a sec. Make sure I answered it. A question the panel: why haven't the port of the? Oh no, we answered that. Yeah, we answered that. Okay, so that's the super chats. Cool. Um. Okay, let me bring some people up. Let's go to Bass. Wait, is it Bass? No, one second. I don't got a Bass. Wait, I just brought someone up. Where's he gone?
I have some. I just saw something coming in. I don't know how breaking it is, but apparently there's. I think Saudi Arabia is reconsidering their $5 trillion investment. Hold on, let me find it. I just had it.
It's all the
Okay,
Arab
Arab
countries. Yeah.
countries are reconsidering the $5 trillion investment in USA due to rising war costs at home. Did you see that?
Yeah, yeah. I posted about it. I got more than 1 million views already on it.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Gotta
Okay.
keep up, mates. You gotta keep up.
My
News,
bad.
news coming thick and fast. You gotta keep up with the news.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, this is it. So that's another. How much money is Trump sacrificing for Israel? Did you say, Mace? How much?
How much has he sacrificed so far?
Well, just on this statement that you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, that's 5 trillion.
Five what?
Disgusting.
Five
Yeah.
what?
Trillion with a T.
Trillion dollars.
What?
$1 trillion. five
Absolutely disgusting.
trillion
That's our
dollars
tax money.
for Israel. Oy vey,
That
oy vey.
we're never gonna see another stimulus.
You ain't gonna see
No, but I
nothing,
mean, you
bro.
guys realize
Except your little
he took
smart
10.
city.
Hmm?
Yeah, he took $10 billion out of taxpayer dollars and put it into the Board of Peace. Okay, and now the Board of Peace, by the way, because I'm gonna write an article on this. This is like nuts. I don't know if you guys knew this, but he's going to be the head chief in charge of this Board of Peace. He's going to be in charge of, it has to. People have to pay at least 1 billion, like pay to play. He has veto authority. He's the head, the chairman of the board, and he's going to
VIX is still up
basically
at
be
23, 24,
responsible
which
for
is
building
insane.
out. He wants, so this is going to build out the luxury side of Gaza, and it's going to build out the urban development, which is like 100,000 units. Now, when you go and you do the math,
Gold
what
and
you
silver
find
still
out
up.
is that could house
Dollar hovering
maybe
around 99.
500,000 people. So that's a
Interesting
third of
days.
the, like, let's say roughly about a third of the Gazans. Like, so, there's no plan for the other displaced people. He's building a majority of it's going to be this big touristy, very luxury, high end side. The other part of it is this technocratic, everything is, it's a cashless society. All of this, he's going to make, so he's positioned himself post president era to be extremely profitable and in charge of all of this, right? But he took the 10 billion 1 week before they launched their first attacks, and his exact words were, $10 billion. He's like, well, that's not a lot of money when it can save in comparison to how much it saves and the cost of war. But he did that knowing that they were about to strike Iran. So the that you sat up there and lied. Like, it's so crazy to me, and I just wanted to share that with you guys because really, so this inspired me to go do a lot of digging, and I went back and looked at some of the even before his inauguration, a lot of the plans that were taking shape. This is not a new thing, right? Like, they had planned for the Trump administration to carry this out. So it's crazy what I'm to share it with you guys.
I'm speechless, honestly, because now I see the whole picture there. Why the Board of Peace, war. My God.
But you see the inversion, right? Like, this board of peace.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
just it's yeah, it's
I,
quite ludicrous. And out of all of the plans that they had listed, so with all the visionary documents, there was quite a few. I think the I went all the way back to the 2009 plan for Persia, where a pathway to Persia, which they had 9 different things. It was kind of split up in 4 different sections where it was discussing the different avenues that they could take. And they've actually done a little bit of all of them. And right now it's like this hybrid between the airstrikes and just demilitarizing them and disarming them. But what is coming, like what the subsequent plans that have been created are just it's crazy. Like, there was a lot of when you look at think tanks that came into play, like with the Council of Foreign Relations, the Atlantic. They were basically saying that, the Trumpism, by the way, is an ideology that is really around his personality. It's like personality driven with his quick, win, win, win. But because of it doesn't necessarily take into place, like, it's almost compromising the long-term objectives of America, right? And anyway, so it's gone extremely. This is where it's diverted from the plan that they had and all these strategy documents. Um, because I think that there's also what's missing from those documents is the allegiance that he has to Israel and to his donors. And to his potential profit making endeavors. So anyway, it's really quite interesting. Once I put it together, I'll share it with you guys. I've been working on it this whole time, so hopefully I'll have it ready by the morning.
hey, Maze, real quick question. What
Yeah.
can you connect the dots with that? I keep saying it's the Abrahamic Peace Accords, but isn't this really part of that, or is this a whole separate program? Because I think this is what's going to usher in don't get me wrong. No, I'm not saying I'm not going to get into eschatological doctrine, Christian doctrine here, but I'm telling you, this is getting pretty scary because yeah, but
Well,
the Abrahamic Peace
I don't
Accords.
think so. Yeah. So those things, okay, those things like the Abrahamic Accords, the Isaac Accords, those things, I think they're very much in place for those that are tied into the end times prophecy. But do I think that Trump gives a shit about that? No. I don't think he does. I think he does care about the function and the services that it renders for the overall
This
plan,
video
which
is
is to
so
hook in a
funny
lot of
about
the
Kim Jong Un.
evangelicals, and also, the majority, I think 60-70% of America is
Yeah,
Christian based. So, like, so I think that for those reasons, that's why it's useful, but not for him. But yeah, so the Abrahamic Accords and the Isaac Accords, I think, are just showing how the like normalizing with Israel is becoming the priority for this next decade. I would say actually for the next 5 years, the first
right.
half of the decade.
But
Um, but yeah, go ahead.
Maze, I'm sorry, maybe I didn't make myself clear, but isn't this peace board, isn't this a part of the Abrahamic Peace Accords? Meaning, is it a system of, or what? I'm looking for the right terminology, a branch of, system of, part of the overall Abrahamic Peace Accords? Because this is a
Um,
committee, right, or a board that stirs that. I don't want to get too down the weeds here, but anyway, yeah,
Yeah, so initially this was put together. It was designed to oversee the implementation of the 20-point ceasefire plan between Israel and Hamas,
They can
yeah, oh
use
yeah,
like
yeah.
a drop
and
down.
then including the Gaza's redevelopment.
Okay.
And
I
so
think this
the
is just going to be an
Abrahamic
invalid
Accords are a
zone.
little bit different. They're more about normalizing with, the Gulf
Bollocks.
countries and GCC countries. And, like, I think there's the ones specifically mentioned are Saudi Arabia. There's a
We've
few
left a
countries
bunch of
that are
highs up top
specifically
here, and
defined as a part
we've
of those accords.
got 1, 2,
However,
3,
because
4
for
somewhat
Saudi
equal highs there.
Arabia, I
I
think
think
actually
price
all
is
five
going to
of
want to
them,
go
it's
higher on
contingent
UJ.
upon Palestine
So I
becoming
Yes.
its own
think I would
state.
like
Yes.
to
And
go
so,
long
because that's,
on the GJ
I
and
think
on
that that's
UJ.
preventing that from
As
moving
for
forward at
Euro
this point.
USD,
Yes.
we can
And so
definitely
with
move
that
on
being
from
said, but
here
there's still been a lot of other deals made
to New
outside
York
of that.
session,
Like, for
and
example,
from
the
here
one
to
that
New
we
York
just mentioned. So
session,
there was a few,
and from
there's
here
the
to New York
Saudi,
session, and we'll see what NFP comes out
what was
like.
it? The Saudi Arabia has their plan with, I think that was somewhere around like 2 trillion, UAE 500 billion, Qatar a couple hundred billion. All of these are outside of that, so it's still pushing a lot of the, let's just say, agendas and projects forward, in terms of AI, tech, healthcare,
I don't
all
see
this
us doing
stuff
that
is
big of a
all,
move.
so they're normalizing without normalizing via accords, if that makes sense.
Yes. Gotcha. Okay. That helps a lot. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
How did some of these people not even understand
It
this
all
basic
lines up.
stuff?
Like, we may see the second coming of Jesus.
What?
Bro, he already came, didn't he? Like, look, do you guys know, by the way, sorry, not trying to be, but look, did you guys know that there's this, because I couldn't help but like really understand why would you ever want to bring about, end times prophecy and all of that. What's crazy is that I can never say this word, the dispensationalist view is actually, there's like this secret rapture that's involved, which is actually quite interesting. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you believe, and I'm not trying to be, pick on religions or whatever.
Yeah, no, that's false. That was written by the Jesuits.
Well, I had to basically say, why would you ever want to bring that up? Because they feel like they won't be here when that happens, when the crazy chaos comes. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not going to bring that up in my
I
stuff.
don't, let's just say, I don't think that like what's been happening is kind of exploiting people's belief in end time prophecy. I don't know that this was like by divine decree, if you will. I don't know though. I mean, I don't want to comment too much on that, but
Let's get
anyway.
some
No, I
breaking.
agree
Let
with
me just
you.
get some breaking news. Right now, there's an attack on Baalbek, which is happening right now by the Israelis. The Israelis said the command and control system of the Iranians is still operating, and they have overcome the initial shock and entered into the recovery phase. The government is no longer able to commit to the usual exchange rates for salaries, with the possibility of dropping to 40 to 50% of paying employees in installments.
I want to go long.
About spokesman of the headquarters of Steel Profits in the coming days, the pace of he said in the coming days, the pace of the Iranian attacks on enemy sites will become more intense and wider. We mentioned about the evacuation that Hezbollah told people to do in northern Israel, and they're leaving, they're escaping. Hebrew media admission on Hezbollah. They said despite the intense pressure on Hezbollah, the movement has managed to maintain some of its military units on the borderline and has succeeded in activating them during the war. Let's see what else we got. Okay, the Ministry of Health have said that 1,619 Israelis were taken to hospital since the start of the war. 87 of them are still receiving treatment. Let's hear from the Zaya side. Okay, I'm gonna post this one out. Containers are on fire.
Build up sweep, continuation, build up their sweep,
Containers,
Accurate.
continuation. I
service,
got dropped
ship.
to the
I'm
low
sorry,
side.
so these ship containers.
No, no, it's oil terminals. So
Oh,
containers are on fire after an Iranian attack on the oil terminal at Al Fujairah port in the UAE. Cooling efforts with water nozzles can also be seen on one container where the flames were extinguished. Oy vey, oy vey. Can we get another long love letter by the Arabs because it's not looking good for them? Okay, let's
oh.
bring back bells. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? And thank you, Solomon, for bringing me on. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, good. All right. So, first of all, I want to just let you guys know that I appreciate this space. I've been listening to it for like 3 days, trying to get in and everything, going to your YouTube and everything, just, sharing everything. And I really appreciate everybody on the panel. Now, with that being said, I was listening, and it's funny that May's Love brought this up because they were talking about, how like who's in charge of all of this, everybody that's in charge. And it really comes down to the Khazar Empire. And I found this out by watching, it's a guy on YouTube. His name is Iron Leafs, but it was a lecture by Jack Otto back in 2012, July the 13th, 2012. And he speaks very, very, very um he just tells everybody why this is all happening in the Khazars. And they are pretty much a very, very, very um evil group of people. And it's by any means necessary, and they do really want to take over the world. And at the end of the lecture, it clearly says and it just shook me to my core because it was back in 2012 and it's actually happening right now. But it shook me to my core when he says in the lecture that the last thing, the last goal that the Khazars have is for them to go to war with the Muslims. And it just got me shaking. It just to hear
Shake
him
like.
give that lecture so far back. And I just advise everybody to just go watch it. I can't tell you what to think or believe, but just go watch it and you'll see how they have just taken over everything. Um, just they're the ones funding the
It's
wars.
by
They've
Sahad.
taken over
Hello,
our
my brother.
schools, our banks,
Hello, brother.
everything. And they're
Welcome,
trying really
brother.
to take over the world. They really are.
Brother.
And it leads back to the Rothschilds. Unfortunately, they changed their names. The original guy that was he talks about all of that. So I want everybody to please, all 4,242 people that's listening and everything,
Your audio is
please
lower
go
than QE
find that
speaking.
video
Okay.
and watch it.
Can I
And
chime
it
in
will
on that?
clear up everything.
So just, I'm gonna pass it right back to you. And I'll say, for everybody, do what you will.
How about that? Is that
But
better?
what I find, like, I would say
Or
unproductive in that regard
is
is that you can't necessarily identify a Khazar.
that
Maybe it gives
better now?
backstory. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I'm very familiar with the. I mean, I've heard of
Well,
it
if
for
you
sure.
go, not
But
not to cut you off, not to cut you off, but
Awesome.
if you
That's
just
fine.
go watch it, I can't, like I said,
okay,
I
okay,
can't
I
try
know.
to tell anyone to, what to think. But I'm just saying from a
Bro,
perspective
this
of
soundbar is
like
absolutely
everything that you
10/10, bro.
guys have been
Bro, I was
talking
blasting
about,
some music on
everything
it,
that's
mate. Big
happening,
bass.
it's just
Big
like
bass.
it's absolutely true what this man is saying. If you
Right, but
just
can
go
you like
watch it.
identify a Khazar when you see him? Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, it's
So
not,
look.
yeah,
By the
it's
way,
not, so it's
let me
not
just
so,
hold on one second.
okay.
Look, let me just introduce myself. I am the queen of conspiracy theories. Okay, I am. I literally gladly wear the tinfoil crown all day, every day. I think it's very important because honest, we're batting 1,000 right about now. So I'm not trying to delegitimize what you're saying at all.
Some of these
Really,
guys' volume
what I'm
isn't that
saying is
loud,
I
so you couldn't
think
even
that
bloody hear him.
right now, whether or not, let's just say I'm a part of the Khazarian Empire, if I'm taking money and violating my oath in whatever capacity it is, I'm wrong and I need to be accountable. So what I'm just postulating here is that yeah, I think it's to
Yeah, I can
explore all
hear him
that
a
stuff
bit
is
now.
important for sure. I'm not even taking away from that. But I also
Right.
just want to
So
keep
what are you looking
highlighting
at chart wise
that there's so
anyway?
many things that we can see and
I
we
kind of want to go long on
should be
yen,
pursuing that might
UJ and
not be
GJ.
necessarily a
Kind
piece
of want to go
area,
long.
but they are, in essence, guilty of contributing to the predicament that we're in, if that makes sense. Anyway, back over to you.
Appreciate it. No, I appreciate it anyway. It was a good conversation.
ECB
I just want to bring the
Sleepien
conversation back
says
to the
policy is
actual
still in a good
war.
place and data dependent.
Hmm.
But yeah, everyone can check out the different views on the theory that they're Khazarians. Let's go. Let me just give some breaking news. Okay, here it is.
What time demand zone?
Where's it gone? Here it go. This is according to the allegedly according to the Iranians, but I'm not sure if it is. But anyway, it says since the beginning of the war, we've launched more than 2,000 drones and 600 ballistic missiles towards American and Israeli targets. Okay, so that's that, and here we go. There we go. Iran's deputy
ECB
foreign minister
Sleepien
said the
says
Iranian
next
frigates
projections
targeted by
could
the
feature
American drones are
scenarios.
not armed, and the
Voice
matter will
news
not go
disconnected.
unanswered.
Yeah, you should talk, man. Got
Air
news to
defense
listen to.
countered missiles that targeted the capital of Tehran. What we got here, China supports Iran in defending its sovereignty, security, and territorial integrity, and in safeguarding its legitimate right and interest. So that's China about Iran. We have remnants
Number
of close
5.
to 450
Okay, let's have a look.
MB-450 drones that were taken down in Iran. Remember, they shot so many of them down. The Iranian army spokesman said Iran did not close the Strait of Hormuz, but this strait has become insecure automatically due to the hostile.
It's already
actions of
tagged this zone right here, but it's not even broke structure. It's just tagged this demand zone. Instantly come back and tag that supply zone around Asia midline.
Calculation, it will suffer greatly. This war for us is sacred and legitimate war because we are defending.
I think it's gonna sell off.
Okay.
Unless what I would like to see is, because obviously going long is a good shot as well, because you got all of this in it.
Who's on space?
So going long is not a bad shot.
Let's go to non jump in.
5078.
Assalamualaikum. I just want to say first thank you for the space to everyone. Maze.
Oh yeah, so Asia low area.
Andrew,
Yeah, that's
Mr.
fair. That's fair.
Abundance,
Yeah, that
even,
makes
he's
sense.
hilarious. Just everyone, wonderful. This space has given me just peace. I'm in Canada, so it couldn't be more lonely out here. Everybody's kumbaya, like business as usual. And then I come on here and there's people that mirror like my anger. They mirror just wanting justice to be served to this like regime of Epstein that's going on. It's crazy that no one here in Canada, I'm telling you, nobody is affected for some reason. There's a few. You had a guy on here from Vancouver who's like the one of the 40 million people, I think, that give a shit about what's going on. But yeah, so I do want to say thank you so much, Simon. I donated. That's how grateful I am to you having this page. Like, I was like, wow, good. Like, you're the ambassador of news right now for me, of peace. So thanks for that. And then I did have a question. Maybe I missed it because I did have to go to work and be a sheep. And maybe you did cover this. I'm just wondering what you guys' opinion is about Yemen. Have they been like awfully quiet this time around? Are they cooking? What's going on? Like, I'm just curious what everybody thinks about that.
Yeah,
We're
good
waiting.
question. Go ahead, Andrew. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, we've been discussing this for days now. We're going on day 6.
Bless me, this guy.
Day 6 now, and I mean hammering it out over and over again with several speakers. I'm sure you've heard them. The bottom line is, I'm glad you brought that up, because we know that will be a very major thing to shut down. We're looking at the Suez Canal. We already have the Persian Gulf, the Straits of Hormuz locked up.
And the picture looks good as well.
The next hammer that's going to fall, I believe with all my heart, will be the Suez
This
Canal.
guy's bad annoying, bro.
That will be our little friends in the Yemenis or the Houthis, right? They are
All he does is
waiting,
talk
just like
and
we
talk
found
and talk
days
and talk
days
and talk.
of
He tells the
waiting
same
for,
story again and
Hezbollah to
again and
pull the
again
trigger,
and again
people
and
kept saying,
again.
what's
Bro, shut up,
Hezbollah
man.
doing? Maybe they're really destroyed. Maybe they're no longer active. Maybe they're just a fade of a memory. Well, if you've been watching what's been happening, the hell that's been released from the north in Lebanon, that's our our assessment here is Hezbollah. Well, guess what? Yemen will be soon, I believe, very soon. And I know there's others here that know better than I do, but that will be unleashed soon. I think very soon. Yeah. So that I'm glad you brought that up. That's the next phase, I think. And Suli, please weigh in. I mean, I just wanted to bring that up.
Price action's been really good because I don't know. I mean, I'm suspicious in it because I just don't want to be in
No, I'm
anything and
just
get slapped.
curious
So I'm a
about
bit like
Yemen mostly
cautious.
because I'm waiting for something. If they seem awfully quiet this time around, and usually they're louder, so I was like, what's going on? Like,
I've been
have they
But
come
you
to
know,
an
the only problem is
agreement
she's
with
Western. Like
Israel
she's,
that
you
we
know,
don't
for
know
me,
about? Is there
American and
some sort of
Canadian Muslims are
ceasefire
just
between
red
them?
flag,
no way.
red flag, bro.
No way.
They're
I think no is
way
too,
more
but
Yeah,
secular
I'm
but
than
none.
just
like
It's
British.
you're the only one
Surprisingly,
that I've
I
heard
suppose it makes sense. They
that's
have more
brought that
Western
up as a
influence over
real
there than they
concern. Or
do in
what
the
about
UK.
them?
Like a lot
I've
more
been
Western
asking that
influence.
myself and
She wears a
thinking, and
hijab,
brought it
but
up
that don't mean
twice
nothing because
now.
she could be doing guap
That
with
I
the
agree
guy
with
named
you.
Richard later
Yeah,
on, and it's just
exactly.
insane.
Tom, can you just share, if it's okay, share real quickly why you are concerned or wondering about them? And do you
Wondering
know? I
shit, but
guess
New
you've
York's doing
studied their
really good. Yeah,
capability
yeah,
and what
yeah.
they've done, right?
You know what it is, bro? Like,
not so
I'm
much.
just a
I
bit
just
like
know that they're a
suspicious in it that
majority
if I get into a trade, I'm gonna get
faction when it
slapped, which is why I'm
comes to
very
like their
cautious.
population.
I
So I would
didn't really want to
assume,
trade
and
this week, but I
especially
have to
based on
stay on
their
time and stuff
rep,
rather the
I would assume they
with the
would
streams
jump
and stuff
in
for
at
my
this.
routine, innit?
But the thing is, like, I do know
But I
Iran
do
is
feel a
not
bit
asking for
hesitant,
help
man.
from
Because remember,
anyone.
this is the first
Like,
time
even Iraq is just on
a true
standby. Like,
hijabi for
there's
Allah,
the
hijabi for hijab. Yeah,
mujahideen
exactly.
there
That's
that
what I'm
are
on
doing
about, bro.
some
Like,
work, but not from the armies. So I'm just wondering, like, with
it's so
Yemen,
bad.
Yemen doesn't need to
Have
be
you ever seen
asked.
the series
Previously, they've
Rami
never
on
been, like,
Netflix? It's really
asked
bad because it
anything. They
shows you what
just come
Muslims
out
are
with,
like,
like,
bro,
they
in
just throw
2020, like
statements at us.
modern
They're
day
like, Bismillah
America, bro.
ar-Rahman
They're doing
ar-Rahim,
all sorts of
and
crazy
they
stuff,
just
and I
go
watched it and I
off.
was just in
So I
state
was
of
like, okay,
shock.
this is
I
kind
was
of
like, this is so
quiet. Their
bad.
name is not in the news. Hezbollah, we knew. Like, this is like, you guys have said it. It's either they exist to resist or they won't exist anymore. Like, you've said it. All of you have said it. But Yemen, I'm like, I'm waiting. I'm just curious. I like something slipped by. I'm not. That was kind of my biggest thing with them.
What's your gut call when we will be hearing from them?
They are cooking iftar, like, for everyone in Israel. They are gonna feed them. That's honestly, and that's just pride, a little bit of pride, but I do
No,
think they're cooking
yeah,
something huge.
I do
Like, they're
too.
cooking a Ramadan feast for Israel to, like, throw at them at the
Ramadan.
same
Oh
time. But I
God,
don't.
that was so
No,
cringe.
no,
Yeah,
no,
just
no.
on what
Yeah,
you.
She didn't say
Sorry,
Ramadan, she said
just on
Ramadan.
what you said.
Oh, that was
When it
so
comes to
cringe. Did
Yemen.
you hear that?
So with the Houthis, they
That
already
was
have made
gross.
some significant moves. Remember,
Yo, she's
Houthis don't
definitely
have a huge
sucking
number
Richard
of
off.
arsenals in terms of missiles.
100%
I guess
Richard
they
is getting
could
the.
send like one missile here and there, but actually that's
I
not
don't know
their
if you could hear
biggest,
that or not.
strongest point. But what they said was that they'll be targeting ships again in the Red Sea. So they said that they had an
Yeah,
agreement
yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah, 100%.
when the Americans
I
and
live
the
by the book and so on.
Israelis
Have you
were
even read the
dominating
book?
for about 70, it's about 70 some odd days. And they took out a few American fighter jets, and America was spending billions of dollars, and they just weren't succeeding.
Yeah, G.
They took an off ramp. They had an
Nice.
agreement, and the part of the agreement was that the Houthis would not be, attacking anyone in the Red Sea. And I believe on the first or second day, they said that the Red Sea is now back on the hit list, and if any enemy ship tries to sail in the Red Sea, they'll be taking them out. And I think that's their strongest.
Why is his mic so quiet? I
That's their
can't even hear
strongest
him.
position, really. So that's what they're kind of doing at the moment. So
Okay,
I guess
so
if
right
any
around here,
enemy
bro,
Houthi goes
gotta
to
go break fast. Already?
enemy ship goes
Okay,
to the
yeah,
Red
go,
Sea,
go,
then
go,
they'll
go.
take them out.
and
What
the
time
Red
is it?
Sea, we know. Yeah,
11
Julie,
hours
that's
ahead.
a perfect.
Yeah, 11
Yeah,
hours
that's
ahead.
the ultimate.
Yeah, go, go, go.
But we have to look at this again.
Oh, this
Pull
guy.
out your
Shut up,
maps,
Andrew.
everybody. Look at the map carefully. What is the Red Sea? Why is that so crucial? And there's your answer. And when they do, let's say, light it up and start all of a sudden, oh my God, there's a tanker. Oh my God, there's a cargo ship. Yeah, and then you see what happens. Yeah, it's going to be huge. Next thing you know, whoa, we can't go down we can't enter and go through. We'd have no contact with the West through the Mediterranean. It's done. Yeah, I think it's going to be huge.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
They're
well,
holding down Red Sea for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, and
But
then none. I forgot to say this. One, they're probably I think it was 2021, so about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. there was a container, a massive cargo ship container, the Evergreen or whatever. It got stuck up in the Suez, right? And it cost 6 days, 6 days, $57 billion lost, and because it locked up everything. And I'll just kind of leave it there. They know what they know how they can do it. Yeah, because I'll just land here. I'm Navy here. I spent career Navy. The 70% of the world is ocean. The United States Navy has control of the oceans. We're the most powerful naval power on Earth for now. And to study naval doctrine, the T. Mahans, that's opening the sea lines of communication. That's everything. He who controls the ocean controls the world, and that's a fact. So we know that we've got to keep those sea lanes open, because when they're shut, like we're going to see with the Straits of Hormuz, things go really bad quick. Yeah.
Exactly, Andrew. You're right. All right, let's go to Chance. Chance, jump in.
Hey, thank you, Solomon. First of all, just Ramadan Mubarak to all of our Muslim brothers and sisters around the world. I just want to put three quick things on the itinerary. First, earlier Mays mentioned a 2009 strategy paper by the Brookings Institute called "The Path to Persia," and I think that's a very useful document that everyone should consult. I'm just going to quote it briefly here. It says, as is the case of American airstrikes against Iran, the goal of this policy would be to destroy key Iranian nuclear facilities in the hope that doing so would significantly delay Iran's acquisition. However, in this case, the added element could be that the U.S. would encourage and assist Israel in conducting the strikes, and the expectation that both international criticism and Iranian retaliation would be deflected away from the U.S. and onto Israel. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Look at the international opinion polls. Israel's way down, when in actual fact it's the U.S. which is conducting all of these things. Everyone, please read that paper when you have the time. Also, I want to ask Andrew about the. Now we know that the vessel that the U.S. submarine struck with a torpedo was actually conducting a training exercise. Andrew, can you elaborate a little bit about the legality as far as when ships are allowed to attack, and then their obligation to rescue or attempt to rescue the survivors, and then a added sort of point of that is, can you speak to the credibility and or maybe the loss of credibility, the loss of trust that this might engender for the U.S. military and for their like reputation around the world? Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, there's two optics here we have to look at, and that is world
Did he
opinion,
ask
and
Suleiman
that
or
does
did he
matter.
ask?
Meaning, well, look at those bad guys, right? That's huge, a very huge optic. I'm glad you brought that up. The second thing we need to look at is the quote legality. That word you use is legality, and you, sir, just walked into a black hole. And when you get inside that black hole, you're going to find yourself wrapped in an enigma, inside of a mystery, inside of a riddle. There is no legality anymore. If there were, there would be war crimes charged for those fishermen or whoever they were. Let's say they were drug runners. I'm talking about those boats that Pete Hegseth kept sinking and shooting and killing those people. Now, we know that that one they hit, there were men in the water. They were swimming. They were surrendered. And you can ask any, and I'm not a lawyer, but I was trained, had to learn a lot about the UCMJ, of course, because I was a preliminary inquiry officer. I've handled hundreds of cases, but any lawyer, Navy, or I'm sorry, military, Navy, Army, doesn't matter, will tell you that what Trump did down in the Gulf of Mexico. No, it's America. No, I'll say the Gulf of Mexico. Whatever happened down there, that was unlawful. Unlawful. But Trump said, no, I deem those as narco terrorists. Therefore, they violated any rule. There's no law for it's. There's no legality anymore. It really is. I'm being honest. I know I'm not supposed to say that. So whoever's in charge, the king makes the rules, and he rewrites them. Netanyahu should be hung. He should be on the gallows. And that bastard, and I use the word bastard in a biblical sense, he thinks his daddy is Abraham, but no, it's Satan. Jesus Christ said so. But I'm telling you, sir, if there were legality and right and wrong in this world, Netanyahu would have been hung in the gallows a long time ago. But uh, but in the right moral sense, yes, what that appears now, I don't have all the evidence. It appears that maybe they were not a quote a legal, lawful combatant under the rules. There's a maritime rule that says you cannot, when someone is not a combatant, under the rules, we have not declared war. Has war been declared? I want to just ask. No, we're not legally at war with Iran. That is a non-combatant. But they could say it is by presidential decree and everything like that. And we'll have two stacks of lawyers. You'll have the side saying that's criminal, it's wrong, and then you'll have the other side saying no, 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 it's under the rules of whatever. They can call it the Trump rule of right. So no, it's not really legal, I wouldn't say, but is it lawful? Yeah, under what's going on. I hope that helps.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Uh-huh.
I also wanted to ask Suleiman, what do you seem to have always such like accurate and verified information. Um, I know sometimes you can't always divulge your sources, but can you point some of the audience maybe to places that you think are reliable and good places to find? Because we know that the Western media, I mean, you read the Western media and you'll come out less informed than you went in. Um,
Can I just say something real quick, Sully, on your absolute question there? We were talking about this, and you're going to hear a lot about this sinking of this quote Iranian boat that was on a training exercise. We are looking. Suleiman's looking at that, and there's a couple other people on the that are usually on the panel. This is going to be looked at 1,000,000,000 times, but I'm telling you from experience, nothing's going to happen. It's going to be. It was lawful. Now, I I was spent my most of my career in submarines. Yeah, if we got the order. Now, this is what we talk about, a lawful order. If we got an order, we have combatant, doesn't matter. Say, we'll just say the E word, enemy. We'll say T word, because that's what we love, that word, T word. We have target bearing 250, range 5,000 yards, mark periscope, mark bearings, match bearings, shoot. You probably fired maybe two, maybe one or two ad caps at it, mark 48 at it. Boom, done. We did our job. Is that commanding officer going to be hung? And no, because he received a quote lawful order under what's this quote whatever we're calling it. He's declared Trump by decree, and that's why we need congressional approval. But since our Congress is so stacked, they went. You read it. No, it passed.
You're right. You're right, Andrew. 100% I agree with you. You hit the nail on the head there, for sure. They are controlled, for sure. I completely agree with you. Um, let's go to Seb. Seb.
Hi. Um,
Hey, Sully, he asked you a question. Another part of the
Oh,
question.
sorry. Sorry. What was the question?
He wanted to know you're very reliable. So I'll let you, sir. Could you go ahead and ask him directly your second part?
yeah, sure. I was just saying, I noticed like a lot of the stuff you tweet out is it very rarely ever gets like community noted or flagged as different disinformation or AI or
Yo,
anything like
why am
that.
I
And it's
getting
very
so triggered by this? But
hard
he's so
to
annoying.
follow this stuff on social media, even if
Like
you're
super
following
annoying.
accounts which are following
Like
quite closely. So I
super.
was wondering if you
Anyway,
have any recommendations for pages or sources that people can follow to monitor the situation that you believe are
Hi,
accurate and
dude.
reliable.
Solomon. That's what you do. You hit his
Exactly.
notifications, you know what I'm saying? And then boom. Because, I mean,
Exactly.
they're just doing the same thing that he's doing. And he's like literally monitoring everything real time coming in. So,
Appreciate that, Miz.
Totally.
And I won't ask where you are at the moment. Um,
So,
I think.
Suleiman, can I ask you something very quickly? I
Of course
are
you
noticed
you
can.
that.
laughing? Are you, what was that?
I said I'm not gonna ask you where you are. It sounded like you're in the toilet.
No,
No,
he's
I'm
making a
cooking.
vicious joke. Yeah.
Oh, okay, go on. Go ahead now.
I have a question actually. I noticed you have like hate for the UAE. I have that. That's like it's in my DNA, literally. But it's really rare to find someone that like mirrors that. Where did your hate for the UAE come from? I'm curious.
There, I didn't know you had.
He hates them.
No, no, don't do it. He's gonna go.
Listen,
He's gonna
I'm
have
a,
No, I
PTSD.
hate them too. Like if I could
I'm not. I don't
move
have hate
them.
for anyone. I'm not a hater. I'm a lover. But that being said, like my disagreement with the UAE is very simple, and I'm not gonna say it's because they banned me because I was calling them out before that. But it's because look, my issue with them is quite simple. They've sold out to Zionists. They've sold out to Israel. They've normalized with them. If you go into their country, they're the antithesis of every single thing I believe. I believe in equality of all man. They treat the non-colleague as second-class citizens. They treat, or basically, if you're not an Arab, Emirati, or you're not a Westerner, then you're treated like a second-class citizen. So the thing is, I don't. When I went, I wasn't treated as a second-class citizen because I had a red passport. But I think it's unacceptable that someone doesn't is not treated in that manner. This is why when people ask me, like, Suleiman, why do you like the US? Why do you respect the US and the UK so much? It's actually because the values that are professed, generally speaking, and I accept that a lot of people within there don't have that. But generally speaking, the values that are professed is this idea, which I believe is Islamic, about all man being equal, irrespective of race, religion, or creed. They don't have that in the UAE. They're normalized with Israel. And my number one thing is anyone who
We've
is
just
on the
taken
same
Asia
side as
high.
Israel is on the other side of me. So that's my issue with the UAE, and it's the same issue I have with all these Gulf nations. And actually, if they flip their position and they were anti-Israel, I'd love them. I'd literally support them, and I'd be promoting them a lot. And so it's really that simple. For me, it's very easy. If you're with the Zayos, you're against us. And
Good
also,
answer.
like on a separate thing, on a cultural thing, they have no society, they have no culture. Like,
No, it's superficial.
what's Emirati food like? What Dubai chocolate, which is literally thrown pistachios and actual chocolate, which other people know. What is like flipping the society? You go there, there's no museums. You go there, there's no bookshops. The one bookshop that's in flipping Dubai is literally being put there by the Japanese. Like, these people have no culture, no society, no understanding of art, no understanding of history, no understanding of anything. They literally just were drinking camel piss and end up flipping hitting on some oil and then giving it to the Americans and becoming friends with them. Like, literally, that's the only thing they're about. And so selling out the entire world for Israel when you have no culture, no society, no nothing, then we're gonna call it out. Like, you ain't nothing.
Sully, you didn't even bring up mention all the stolen gold and shit. You don't want to go over there and buy the
Exactly, in
gold
Sudan.
from the that reaped from the child labor. That's a cool part
Yeah.
of going to Dubai.
Well, that and also the genocide they partook in Sudan, the horrors that were witnessed in Sudan. I'll never forgive them for that. Like, that is so evil. It's unbelievable. Like, to do what they did to the Sudanese people, to the children, like that kind of things they've done to the children, is horrors, is horrific. It's almost as bad as what King Leopold did to the Congolese. Like, I just find it extremely unacceptable. And so what they when I look at Sudan, what they did and what happened in Sudan and what happened in Darfur and what happened in all the different areas in Sudan, uh, largely these guys were responsible for a big portion of it. These people are not good. They're not good people, and they think that just selling out as Zionists and bringing people like Mr. Chung over to them as influencers is gonna wash their crimes, but it'll never wash their crimes.
No, great answer. And you know what? I totally agree. They work overtime to like make sure they stay on top, but they're just the bottom of the food chain. Even
What have
they're a
they got in their
knockoff.
country though? Like, what have they got in their country that's good? Like,
They're just a
food.
knockoff of Iraq. Like if you really look into their history, they're just a knockoff of what Iraq should be had they not had all that war, which they helped with. They helped the USA with the Iraq war. They were a big hand. Like they made sure that Iraq stayed low so that they can be what they are today. It's just a joke.
Yeah,
Joke.
don't like them.
Me neither.
But yeah. Anyway, let's go to yeah. The UAE's got nothing like food. You can get food. I'm in the US. I literally any place I go to in the US, I can get all varieties of food. So that's not for special. The country is like so hot you can't even go out during the day. They literally have no culture, no museums, like no history, no art.
Like, what is good about their country? Like, tell me. Oh, they got a water park. You can get a flipping water park in the United States of America and the UK. Like, what is it unique about their country? Safety was the one thing you could
Sully,
argue,
the gold-plated
and
Lambos, man. You haven't seen them.
oh yeah, that's true. I mean, that's true. But even that, like, at the end of the day, like, it's just lame. It's just superficial because when you go there, they, it is just that. It's just superficial. Like, what, it's just full of like rich people who think that they're living the life, and it's just within. They're like literally in a desert, a Lambo in a desert. Like, that's so gay anyway. Like, you got a Lambo, at least have it in a, like, in a decent city. You bro, they've got nothing. Like, there is nothing. It's just full of, and it's on the blood and sweat and tears of cheap slave labor. Like, this is unacceptable. These people are not moral. Anyway, let me just not go down that road because I'll start smashing
Really? I did
religion.
not know any of that. That's crazy.
You go to Dubai. I'm not joking because I'm actually a human being who has a soul. I go to any country I go to, I'll always talk to like poor people in that country and like rich people because I'm connected with everyone. But the point is, I'll always make a way of always talking to like poor people in the country. You go to the US and I do feel bad for people. They've got like two jobs and it's not easy. You go to Dubai and like you go like just take a taxi driver in Dubai, an Uber driver. The guy's like driving and you could tell he's almost falling asleep because he's doing like nearly 17, 18 hours a day just to make bread. Like, it
Gold's
is
taking the
disgraceful the way they
high.
treat you. You can see, you go to the construction site and you
Oh,
got
that
these
was
guys
silver.
in the
Gold's
scorching
still
heat
hovering
on the
around in the
construction
midline
site,
area.
working like slave labor, getting hardly anything for it because
If
they
I was
need to
gonna
be
go long,
paid.
I'd want to see
Like, this
price come
level of
down, take that
behavior is
level.
unbelievable. You saw in Qatar, the building when they built the stadium in Qatar, how people died to build those stadiums. Like, they talk about how Qatar is so good or these countries are so good. Yeah, because we have values
So
in
there's
the
Frankfurt
West.
high, took out
We
that
actually have
level.
real values.
Higher
So yeah,
low,
we'll
higher
build a
high,
stadium,
higher
and yes,
low,
it will
lower
take 10
high,
years,
higher
which is a
low, lower
problem.
high,
There's
drop.
red tape, there's all these things. These things need to be improved. But guess me, tell you something. That is a million, and I mean a million times better than sacrificing poor people from poor countries because they have no means of getting food in order to build your stadium faster or keep quicker or cheaper or whatever it is. So yeah, let me tell you something. Like, these countries are the bottom of the barrel. Like, these people are the right at the bottom, and they have the money to actually do something, and they don't do something, and then someone from the West like, oh, guess what, I'll go there and it's tax free. Yeah, it's tax free because you're basically living on slave labor. Yeah, I will pay tax so that the poor people in my country can benefit. The only problem is in the West, when I'm paying tax, the poor people that I'm benefiting is the rich oligarchs who use that money to take it to wars. But that being said, let me tell you something. The West is a million times better than these Khalij Arab countries. The only thing they've ever done is be able to drink camel piss, and that's like flipping, even that is like, you know anyway, let me not go down that road. um, it's too early in the
No, but you're
morning.
right. They do have a disgusting attitude towards everybody else except for white people.
There's a regime there or something. I don't know what brainwash they do to the citizens, and then they come out like Joel. He came out and he was like, long live Dubai," all this stuff, and I was like, what did they feed you? What happens when
Well,
you
the
guys
problem
get
is,
there?
some of these not Joel, but some of these influencers are paid. Some people are connected to the regime, and so they'll get like contracts or whatever it may be, and some are just connected to the regime. So
No,
people
some
have
of them are
different.
just taking it in the back. Like they're literally taking it in the back and they're enjoying it. That's like my opinion. I don't understand it. You go there and they praise
True.
it. I know, but they praise it. Like you would think they were. It's incredible. They're blind to everything he just said. Everything. Like the way they're built on blood, the way they treat their just regular work. Because I've been there too, and I was like, am I in like a simulation? Is this normal? And I'm weird. Like it's a shit show over there. It's just death.
Wow, I learn
Yeah.
something new every day. I always thought it looked like really, kind
No,
of
and I'm
schmancy,
Arab.
but also, but yeah, I didn't know all of the other things about it, which is interesting. I always had a positive view on it, except for the kind of turning their cheek to the whole genocide thing. Yeah, that turned my obviously that made me not favor them. However, I had no idea about the other stuff. That's crazy.
Let's go to Seb.
Hi. Thank you, everyone, for having me on this space. Thank you for even having this space and allowing me to speak tonight. Thank you, Andrew, who always speaks, and Sulaiman. We have the same name. Um, we always have really important conversations. I don't speak, but I am here most of the time. I was born in Al Janoub in Lebanon. It's pretty much the south side. towards where the wars normally happen. And currently, I'm speaking from the United States at the moment, but I really appreciate the platform here. Uh, I wanted to bring something up that's literally happened a few hours ago, pretty close to home for me personally, about the Baalbek, Lebanon Valley and stuff. I believe there were strikes in the residential buildings a few hours ago, and a few civilians who pulled out of rubble and in civilian neighborhoods and stuff. And the reason this is pertinent
Still
to me
no
is
clear
because
direction
my sister's
on
house was actually
EUGU as of
hit by one
yet.
of these rockets, and thankfully she moved to her in-laws a few days ago. But due to the escalating strikes, that was the reason she moved. But it was covered on the Lebanese news, and obviously she's not Hezbollah, and she's a civilian. She has a daughter, she has a family, and at one point does it get to this pattern we keep seeing where Israel pretty much strikes civilian homes, families, neighborhoods, and their justification is like it's a Hezbollah target every single time, like it's an asset that they have to take out or something. So my question is there any coverage about that at the moment? Because I haven't seen any on your profile, Suleiman, and pretty much it barely gets reported about Lebanon and all this, but
Coverage about what? Sorry.
like
And that,
in Lebanon, pretty much
yes,
just
What Baalbek being hit?
yeah, Baalbek and pretty much any other like evidence that they're getting hit like within the past few hours.
The residential areas.
Yeah, I mentioned Baalbek. Baalbek was hit. I don't know if it was. I think it was in the last few hours. I don't know exactly when it was, but
I
yeah,
heard
Baalbek
you.
was hit.
You did bring it up. Yep.
yes,
Guys, some breaking news.
but
There is more launches from Iran. More launches from Iran coming right now.
yes, but so what happened? Didi was covering that. Remember, and Didi and Adam. Oh, where's Adam? Adam's not here. Didi's not here. But no, they were talking about that. But there was this blackout. They had that media blackout, and don't. We were getting some of it, but we weren't getting all of it because of that blackout there. I'm
So
sure
this is
something will
this
come up.
time
What's that?
Andrew is asking about Baalbek, which is in Lebanon. So Baalbek in Lebanon is in southern Lebanon, and this is where the Israelis are bombing.
Yeah, no, Sully, I know. That's what I'm saying. They were not getting the media black. I know Israel has the media blackout too, but uh, Didi, I think it was either Didi, I wish he was here, or Adam was talking about that, and they said we're not getting everything. And Beatrice was saying the same thing. She said, we can't get the information because of also a very similar blackout. But Lebanon tears me apart. I was there in 1982 in Beirut. It
It's
it broke
beautiful,
me, man.
but what it's turned
Yeah,
into.
I was like, what? It was beautiful. Well, the Paris of the Mediterranean. I was standing there in Beirut, and I literally was sick to my stomach. I was shaking. I never saw. You can't unsee what I saw. Those buildings were destroyed. People were out there in the street living in. It was makeshift morgues, animals laying there. The smell, the stench. I'll never get the smell out of my mind. Yeah, and they still were sort of going on like life was normal. One night at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, we almost had. I was a boat officer, and my gunner. We were 1 second away from killing some teenagers because we thought they came into our objective area. Yeah, but
Can I
no,
also just highlight his point? I think that he made that was also super important. If you don't mind, Andrew, I'll give it right back to you. But he's also saying that, like, the same excuses about why they're hitting these residential areas. His sister narrowly escaped because her residential area was hit, but she had just moved out because of the escalating tensions. She went and stayed with family. But just because they're always like, oh, it's Hezbollah there, but it's clearly not. Anyway, so that was kind of included in his
Yeah,
share.
Yes,
Baalbek has been hit a few hours ago, and Baalbek is being hit now as well. Easter Baalbek is being hit, and it's just horrific because I've been to Baalbek. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world. Unlike Dubai, it actually has history and heritage, and it basically is one of the most beautiful places in the world. It's if you go to Baalbek, the first of all, it's got many great sites, but it's better than use the Acropolis in Athens. They kind of, it's like propaganda in the sense of they try and make it sound the best, which it is really good. I'm not saying it isn't, but Baalbek is like better than even the Acropolis in my view. And I've been to both. It's just so beautiful, so much heritage. Like even people have this, or Maze, you like this. They even have this idea or this view that because some of the way the structure is, that like people with that type of technology couldn't have built it. So it's like just one of the most like amazing places. And obviously Zio's
Like
being Zio's.
Tartarian?
Sorry.
Like the Tartarian architecture?
More like the pyramids, where like you can't have built it based on the size, and like it could have been probably like someone like giant. Like claim is it could have been anyone anyway. I don't want to put any like
Oh, like ancient. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So it's like yeah, that's kind of so yeah, they're bombing that
Cool.
right
I
now.
gotta look. I
I've
think
always wanted
actually,
to
yeah.
visit, but they don't let us in Palestine if they see like our passports stamped Lebanon in that same like short time frame. Then they're like, oh, you can't come in. So I'm always put in a bad position, never able to visit. Hopefully one day.
Yeah, unfortunately. Okay, breaking news, breaking news. Major explosions in Tel Aviv. Major explosions in Tel Aviv. Iran targets Tel Aviv. Major explosions in Tel Aviv. Major explosions in Tel Aviv.
You sound like one of those intercom people.
That's
But
the
the
Hey, he could be great at it.
Iran's target a
But
massive explosion in Tel Aviv, guys. Massive explosion in Tel Aviv. Let's see what else.
Ooh, did we report on this one says this is big, a Kuwait FA-18 fighter jet shot down, a USA FF-15E jet in close range fight with what appears to be an AIM-9 Sidewinder air-to-air missile. This was on March 2nd, but I guess the update isn't here. So it appears that Kuwait pilot either intentionally shot down the U.S. jet or made a very
Okay,
serious
goals
mistake.
doing a
The
drop again,
authenticity
which is
of the clip. Oh, finally,
interesting.
there's clips. Hasn't been confirmed yet. Note that a single Kuwait FA-18 Hornet jet accidentally shot down 3 US 15. There's kind of trolling. 15 E Strike Eagles. The Hornet fired 3 air-to-air missiles, destroying all 3 jets at the same time. That's very interesting. See, I don't like this kind of stuff flies over my head. So without the video, it's really hard to understand. But they did include a video. I'll send it to you.
Well, it's crazy that when the U.S. fights countries that actually have an air force, all of a sudden the F-15 is not invincible.
5 times, right? It's pretty wild.
Before this, apparently they were.
Perfect. They had a zero. They were I don't know what's the word.
Untouchable.
Yeah, untouchable.
yeah, the king. Was it the king has no clothes?
Thank you for letting me speak anyway. I'm gonna step down. I appreciate you guys for letting me get on the space.
Our thoughts and prayers and love with you, and that's just all that. Our prayers are with you, man, my dear bro.
Appreciate it. Let's go to Mani. Mani, thanks for joining in. Go ahead, jump in.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I just want to thank you guys for the space. I'm a Iranian that lives in Toronto, Canada, and I'm like surrounded by these Pahlavists, and I can't even speak my mind because these guys talk about democracy, and as soon as you say, "Oh, you don't support Pahlavi," they just want to like kill you. So I really appreciate this space, and I guess the question I had was to is this the most pressure that America's faced before starting a war and during a war? And to like what point can they absorb this pressure and keep on going?
Yeah, that's what we've been discussing for the past going on 6 days. Not in recent history. Probably not before Pearl Harbor. Probably the last time. I'd say Pearl Harbor was the last time we faced such an enormous unimaginable challenge. Let's use the C word. I'll say challenge. And help me out here, historians. But no, from my service and time, no. World War II, Pearl Harbor is probably the last time we had such a monumental challenge. But no, this is horrific, unimaginable. There's no words to describe the mess we're in. Why? I want to ask a rhetorical question. Why? And I have
Just
other
some more
things to
breaking
do. Oh,
news.
trust me.
Breaking news. Rocket. I've just put the visual. By the way, you're gonna check any of this. It's on my page. Missile hits Tel Aviv. Missile hits Tel Aviv. I'm putting another one out, which is a rocket directly hits Kafar Qasim. Rocket directly hits Kafar Qasim. What's it called? 10 explosions heard in Tel Aviv. 10 explosions heard in Tel Aviv. Ten explosions heard in Tel Aviv and its surroundings. Okay, what else we got? At least one rocket fell directly a short while ago in the area of Ben Gurion without any interceptions. Just in one rocket hits Ben Gurion Airport. One rocket hits Ben Gurion Airport. And Ben Gurion Airport hit. Okay, what else we got? Hezbollah fighters launched dozens of anti-tank missiles yesterday at the enemy army from a depth of 67 kilometers. Yeah, surprised they did that, but they've been smashing them. Explosions continue in Tel Aviv. Reports that there's more than 10 explosions in Tel Aviv. Rocket hits Ben Gurion. Defensive
And
missiles
it's
failed.
closed or no?
Sorry?
Is Ben Gurion closed? They're completely closed down, right?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
super close now.
they'd have to be.
A defensive missile fails to intercept the Iranian missiles and return to crash to the ground. Massive explosion in Tel Aviv. Satellite images reveal that Iran is working to destroy US radar systems in a number of Arab countries. Residents of Tel Aviv and its surroundings report very violent explosions that shook homes in the wake of the latest barrage. And this is from Israeli Channel 12 News.
You know what I'm surprised about is that Iran hasn't hit US boats with Chinese weaponry.
That was random.
No, they have. They have.
Residents of Tel Aviv and surrounding cities report very violent explosions that shook homes in the wake of the latest rocket barrage. This has been reported by Hebrew Channel 12. Hebrew Channel 12 says the residents of Tel Aviv and neighboring cities. I mentioned that. Our people in the occupied territory, any picture, video sent to blah blah blah. Israel, the keep us. So far, the sound of 10 explosions have been heard in Tel Aviv. Obviously, they're trying to what do you call them? Stop them. They're using a lot of missile defenses. Some of Iran's infrastructure Iranian missile fell in the vicinity of Ben Gurion Airport. Emergency service en route to the possible impact location. Let's see what else we got. Emergency service are en route to the possible impact location. Let's see what we got. Let's see what else. Siren sound in Tel Aviv. We said that. That's what this one.
So is it alright if I jump and ask a quick question to Andrew? And I see that Silver's here. I want to get their opinion on something.
Yeah, sure. In between, but I'll be interrupting with the news. But yeah, go ahead, Cos.
Yeah, I want to ask you guys because I know you have military experience. I train martial arts, and one thing we talk about a lot is what's more important than your abilities to fight is your willingness to fight. Can you guys comment a little bit about the morale situation? And the Iranians are in an existential war. The Americans and the Israelis, they don't. The soldiers on the ground really don't want to be there. It seems like the morale is very low. Can you guys talk about that and maybe the impact you think it'll have as this war continues?
Yes, Chief. Hey, Chief, can you answer that, please? Because Silver Sailor is an NCO. He is a Chief Petty Officer retired. That's our NCOs. They are the ones that have the front line of discipline and morale of the men.
Just in, we can see skies over Tel Aviv being hit and lit up. We have Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister Abbas Arakchi saying from India, the US attack on the Dana frigate, an unarmed and cargo-free ship, reminders of the behaviors of the Nazi Germany. Skies over Tel Aviv as it appeared during the Iranian attack.
Good.
Okay, videos. What's the audio? And they're using a lot of defense interceptor missiles as well. So let's see this.
Where?
Go ahead, Silva. Are you going to answer his question?
Yeah. Hey, hello, Sully. Thanks for the mic. How's everybody doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yes, yeah, we hear you, Chief. Did you hear his question? Can you answer his question?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes. What people got to understand is that these service members, this is their job, right? Some of them are they're cooks. Some of them are paperwork people. Some of them are, missile people that do the missile stuff. But this is their way of feeding their family. Of course, they may not agree with what's going on, but in the heat of the moment, if they are in the region where this activity is happening, they just are doing their job. They may not agree. Some of them may agree, but they're doing their job. So you cannot fault them for. I mean, they can't just get off the ship and swim home. They have to go wherever they're been ordered to go. So their morale definitely is, especially that Gerald Ford. They've been out there almost 10 months. Yeah, those guys they're completely wasted. Their minds are probably. I mean, it's probably very dangerous to be conducting war with a crew that's been depleted over time. But God bless them. I don't agree with what is happening, but you got to understand that they have to feed their families too, right? Things are already hard enough in America with jobs. So these poor service people that are out there, they're just doing their job. And yeah,
Another thing too. Thank you, Chief. Another thing too. Let me add what Chief was saying. If there is a breakdown in discipline, I'll say a breakdown in discipline, and there is a action of taking unlawful activity, they will be quickly punished, and it happens quick in the chain of command. They'll be removed from the ship. I don't foresee this becoming a massive mutiny because there's the discipline and training, but the discipline and mindset is extraordinary. And malcontents are quickly identified. They're removed and disciplined severely. The discipline is severe, I'll say that. But, and like Chief said, they're doing their job. They may even disagree with it, but yeah, I know it's very hard for civilians to understand this. It's very hard. That's why I don't want us to go in there, because I don't want to see innocent lives killed for nothing.
I mean, can you imagine being on board one of these ships, and some of these, especially on a carrier, you may not even see the sun or the moon for several days because you just don't want to go outside unless you're a smoker. They have like these smoke pits on the catwalks of the carrier where they go out there to smoke. If you're not a smoker, if you're not launching planes on the flight deck, you may never see the sun or the moon for days, weeks. Imagine that.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. We did a 9.5 monther, Chief. We were deployed, almost gone total time, almost gone 10.5 months. But it was, yeah. They'll break the record. I think they'll break that record. And like Chief said, it is devastating. I think 20% of our crew got, like, I was one of the casualties. I came home and my wife and I had found out that my was reported allegedly my wife, we didn't make it, and but yeah, it's terrible. So my heart
I
goes
mean,
out to him.
sir, tell the crowd about Steel Beach picnics. I mean, this is something that the captain would do to to kind of boost morale, especially for these long deployments. But they have something called Steel Beach picnics. Just imagine what that means. They're either on the flight deck, they're on the helo deck, and they're barbecuing. They're out there maybe throwing a football around or whatever, having fun, trying to keep these service people engaged in what they're doing. Sometimes there is some fun that happens out there, but just imagine these poor young men and women out there, what they're going through.
Guys, I just want to first of all thank. I got a super chat here, which is my theory is what if Iran is trying to get the US bases out and get the US out of GCC so they can go in regime change them to free the oppressed people, where I think that's why GCC countries are scared. I hope for that. Yeah, that would be a dream, Mary. That would be a dream. Freedom, regime change in the GCC. But guys, guess what? Uh, Obviously, I don't really look at this, but a lot of people have been sending me this. So I just want to thank each and every single one of you, in listeners, in speakers. But we've been trending on X for the last few days. Our spaces have. I was sent an image yesterday where we were trending, and today we're trending again. And it's only because of you guys, because you guys are dedicated to the space. You're dedicated to sharing the space. You get dedicated to letting people know that we're running the space. And so it's only and solely because of you guys that we're able to run the spaces that we're running. And we're trending all over X. And this is why people are aware of the space. But yeah, we're trending on the trending section of X the last few days, actually, for different things, but all related to the spaces. So yeah, big shout out to everybody on the space. I'll probably put a tweet out on it, but then I don't know if I should, because it looks like you're like, oh yeah, I'm trending. But anyway, just to let you guys know, because we're all part of the space. Um, so yeah,
And
shout
people,
out to everyone
please
here.
retweet, and please retweet the space
That's
on
right. This
Twitter,
old
please,
guy needs to get
and
slapped round
consider
his
giving
fat head,
Sully
man, and
a
just told
gift
to
up there. He
STFU.
is not getting paid for this. He's been 24/7.
He can
And
vouch for
Beatrice will
himself.
be
He
on.
has his
And well,
own
you got
voice.
here. We
He
have
can speak for himself.
Maze
You
is
don't need you to talk for him
the
or
panel.
vouch for him
We've just
or
going
anything.
nonstop.
He's got
I'm
freaking
going to
7 or
day
800
6,
k
and
followers,
my
so you can
wife's
shut your
giving
mouth
me that
and
look. Like
relax.
I literally just doing cat naps for 6 days now. I feel like I'm back on one of my sub patrols, or going.
We're on day 7 now, Andrew. We're on day 7.
Yeah, that's right, day 7. Yeah. Oh my God. But this is why, because the passion, the compassion and love and I've had people tell me I'm not a real American. I need my ass kicked around the country. But who's really a real true American? America first. Someone who says, no, I don't want Americans, young men, to die like my son did. All right. I don't want to see more of our young men and women destroyed. Come back. Or who's a true American? Or yeah, Israel first. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. But Silver, Chief had his hand up, and then Jay has his hand up. Silly, I don't
Yeah,
think Silver
yeah.
got.
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it, guys.
Yeah, sorry, Jay. Let me jump in there real quick. I just want to do my
Just what?
anti-war veteran minute on the X space. Go ahead, Sally.
Go ahead for Silver. Sorry, I just wanted to do this super chat. Hi, so you notice how Mufti Monk never says Allah in his tweets. He'll instead say Almighty, trying to propagate the UAE Abrahamic religion normalization. Yeah, obviously, I agree with that. Sorry, go ahead, Silver.
Yes, I'll be reading again from the Brigadier General's Smelly Butler's famous "War is a Racket" speech. I got 2 small quotes. Give me a minute. Okay, here it goes. There are only two things we should fight for. One is the defense of our homes,
So
and the
now we've
other is
taken
the
Asia
Bill of
high on
Rights.
GU
So that's one.
and EU's
One
back at
more.
Asia midline.
If
Now
only
the
more
issue
of today's
becomes, are we going to
military
short from
personnel
here
would
or go
realize
long?
that they are being used by the
I'm
owning
not bloody
elites as a
sure.
publicly subsidized capitalist goon squad.
I mean,
Thank you very much.
We
And that
have
could have been that was written over 100
just
years ago. It
taken
could have
this
been
high
written
here,
yesterday, and
which is
you know,
yesterday
I would have
London
believed it.
high. Was it London? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's why I
yesterday's
like to
London
read these
high
out because it's so relevant
with
for
a lot of
today. That was
volume.
from the
So it says the momentum's
1930s.
on the long side, but could
Brigadier
that be
General
a
Smeaton
trap?
Butler.
And for
Who
anyone
was a
wondering,
I'm not
Marine? Who was a
sure.
Marine who had two would
General,
have
right?
been three? Yes, General. Yeah, a General, U.S. U.S. Marine Corps General, two medals of honor, and they would have had a third, but Congress wouldn't allow it.
Yeah, can you believe he was the highest decorated Marine Corps general at the time that he made that speech?
That's what's shocking.
You know, it's so great to have veterans like you guys, in the room because you actually know,
Except
the
Andrew.
cost of
Oh my
war.
god, accept him. Just get
And
rid of him,
when people call you
please.
guys unpatriotic, it's so disrespectful, especially people who haven't served themselves, or like, for them to call you, who realize like the cost of war, unpatriotic. It just makes no sense, because the one thing people forget is all the money that we're wasting on war could have been used to be invested here in America. And your talents, could have been used to protect the homeland. Like, if it was actually a ministry of, I'm sorry, Department of Defense, like it used to be named before, we had the Knights Templar guy, Pete Hegseth, and over there, and they
Knights
changed it to the
Templar.
Department of War. If it was actually the Department of
That's
Defense,
funny.
then
That
we
is
could have had
funny.
some military on the borders to prevent people from pouring into the country. And you would have been simply a defensive force in case anyone attacked, which nobody ever would. We would have spent a fraction of the money that we spend on the military right now, and a lot of that money could have been invested right here. So I really appreciate it, hearing from you guys and getting, like, this level of, military insight into the conflict. And, that's one of the things that, adds to the credibility of Suli's spaces, in addition to, all the other,
Sully's.
sources he has on the ground. So I really appreciate you guys. But, I just wanted to, call some attention to, the news Suli just broke about how much money like we've spent just in these first few days already. Like, what was it? It was five, no, it was 5 billion, he said, right? Was that how much the number was?
Yeah, it was 5.7 billion, but that's up until like now, and that's
Mhm.
just like I believe based on just the missiles and stuff they're using. I don't believe they've taken into consideration. Well, I know they haven't taken into consideration.
Was that how much the number was?
Yeah, it was bringing them there, the cost of paying them, the cost of the air fueling tankers, all the movement that happened beforehand. That I agree with that Dubai guy
G looks like
saying
he's
like
gonna go for a
200
short.
in within a few weeks that's going to be like 210 billion.
Exactly.
Looks like he's gonna
Exactly.
go
And,
for a short.
for people to think like something like that is sustainable, we're above 200 billion. We already have a sky high national debt that's, like, killing the US dollar. Like, we're playing directly, like, into Iran's plan. Like, their plan is to bleed us and to deplete our resources, our military stockpiles, and that's exactly what they're doing. So, when I hear people come on the space earlier and talk about how, the rate of missiles being, shot is dropping, and that means Iran is losing and they don't have any more missiles, they're not taking into account that Iran has access to the internet. They can see Trump's cabinet, making announcements that they expect the war to last until September. So why would they fire off all of their missiles like in the first week, when the president's cabinet is making announcements that they expect the war to go into September? And they know that like they know what they can do. Israel has an idea about how much they can produce, and they know how scared Israel is of their ballistic missile program. So they're not gonna shoot off everything, give away all the locations of the launchers. Like, in my opinion, it seems like they're strategically firing off, a few missiles at a time to keep the war going, knowing that there's a high possibility that troops may be on the ground. Like the foreign
Boots on the
minister of Iran
ground.
just
Boots
got,
on the ground.
onto cable
Homie,
news
boots
today,
on
and
the
they asked him,
ground.
"Are you scared of
Boots on the
America,
ground.
invading your country and putting troops on the ground?" And the guy said, "No, we're waiting for him." Like, so they expect like America to try to pull another Iraq, over there. So like they're clearly playing the long game, and we fell right into the trap by killing the Ayatollah to start off this war, and made it even worse by bombing that school. And we've energized the entire country, behind the current government. So I hope people know that just because the rate of missiles is slowing down, it doesn't mean Iran is losing, and they'll be able to bleed us dry, simply by their drone production, because they already make a ton of drones by themselves, let alone if Russia decides to, provide some drones and provide some more direct military assistance. So, I gotta hand it to Iran. What they're doing so far is pretty amazing, and I don't want to see, the deaths of any more soldiers on any side. But I gotta hand it to them for how they've been playing it so far.
Is anybody
Jay.
speaking?
Yeah, Jay. Yeah, it does say Jay. Thank you. Well done. You're very articulate, sir. God bless you. No, yeah, God bless you.
Hey, Andrew. Hey, brother. My
Yeah,
most of my career was on surface Navy, but I did have the balls enough to board USS Asheville back in the '90s for from Hong Kong to Singapore. I rode that bad boy.
really. Congrats, man. What do you think? Pretty good. You like it? A little different, huh?
Yeah, it was awesome. I was a young man then, and I almost went to subs because the food is awesome. I was
Yeah.
wondering, where do they smoke? Because you're underwater, of course. They smoke in the engine room. I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, they were back in the this is I'm going back to the 90s, right? But they were really trying to get get us to stop to have a no smoking policy, and it's not going to work. I used to dip tobacco, right? And they were even trying to get me to quit. No, we're changing the policy. We don't want, you can break that here. They want to hang out nicotine patches. Nah, they still smoke. Where they do now, I have no idea. I was supposed to, in fact, this summer, I'm sorry, last summer I was supposed to go on board. I had my group meet. My sub had a reunion. We were going to go tour a Virginia class, and at the last minute, I had some personal stuff to take care of with family, and I didn't make it. But hopefully next year I'll get. But yeah, I don't know where they're doing it now. I have to check up with find out exactly where. It depends.
Thanks for that. Let's go to Chuma. Chuma, thanks for joining us.
Yes, hello, man. It's morning here. I'm in Doha at the minute.
You're in
And
Doha.
listen, yeah. I'm in Doha. Listen, all I wanted to say first of all was appreciate everyone's views and thoughts on what's going on, and even yourself for big shout out to you because you know there's so much news we're trying to listen to and digest and
There's so
understand
much
and unpack, and
posts coming out on
what
X.
you're
It's
doing
so
with
hard to
regards
bloody
to
keep up with all the
aggregating
attacks
what's
and
going
stuff like
on
that.
in the region and the conflict. Like
Tel
it's a
Aviv is getting
massive help
absolutely
to
slammed. It's all
loads of
over my
people that I know that are
X.
living here and
I didn't even put my X
experiencing
in the
this
chat, did
right now.
I?
So you're one of the main
I didn't
sources
even put
that
the
we
link
look at,
for my
in
X
combined
in
with
the chat so
what
people
mainstream
can
media is
literally follow
saying.
the
But we always look at, we
news.
always say like, what's Manland
I
saying
shall do
today?
that
Do you
now.
understand? So we
There's
yeah,
that.
big
And then
up
here's
yourself,
here
man. We
on copy a
appreciate
discount code
we appreciate what you're
and
doing. It's helping.
this discount
Do you
code.
understand? Just helping us keep informed with what's going on around the region. So yeah, it's making an impact. I'll say that it's making an impact. But for me, it's difficult to see where this is how this will end. Do you understand? Like, you know, we can, when you look at past conflicts, we can look at Russia and Ukraine, for example, right? And we can just say, okay, we disagree with what Russia's doing in invading Ukraine, but we can at least see the rationale that's been put to us on the surface at least, and we can say, okay, blah blah blah. Russia doesn't want Ukraine's dancing with NATO. Russia doesn't want a NATO partner on their doorstep. So therefore, they'd rather put that country to the ground and have it part of NATO, right? Whether you believe that or not, fine. But it's a credible rationale, right? It's a credible rationale. I fail to see. It's very hard to see what the rationale is for this conflict, for the US and Israel starting this conflict. It's very, very difficult to see that outside of what people are saying with regards to America going on Israel's coattails. It's very, very difficult to see it. To be honest, where is the end? Where is the goal? What is the objective? So I'll be keen to hear, because I've got my own ideas, but I'll be keen to hear what your thoughts are and what other people's thoughts are on this, because it's looking like it's hard to see signs of de-escalation, put it that way.
But
Fair play to
our
the
hearts
guy.
go out to you, bro. Our hearts go out to you. We are struggling with the same thing here because you know what we're looking at is the why and what. Why are they doing this? They're dog walking all of us into the same end. And then what in the hell is going on? I mean, we're in shock too, bro. We're in shock too.
Mm.
And our hearts go out to you. So right now, the only thing that concerns me about those GCC countries there, you right there, I don't know if there's ever going to be a problem with your desalination. I'm not familiar with your infrastructure with desalination or food supply. If something ever goes broke to get food in there, and I know you got resupply otherwise, but doesn't most of your stuff come in through containers and even water to back up your desalination? I don't really know. I'm just asking.
To be honest, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
one,
that's okay.
one, yeah. I mean, one thing I will say is that life is pretty much going on as close to normal as possible, relatively speaking. It's so nice to see people walking their dogs. you know, um,
No pun
that's a
intended.
comfort. That's a comfort.
Oh no, it is. It is. No,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
it really is. It really is. People going for walks and jogs, and it's a comfort. And the authorities have been excellent as well. The authorities have been excellent with the information, the instructions. It's been excellent, I have to say. And the defense as well. It's been we're taking the each day as it comes, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Now we do know that not in Iran is never meant. They've never said they're going after. They don't want to kill civilians. They don't want to kill people there. They don't want to kill you. But what they are going to do is take all those bases, U.S. military bases out, including their infrastructure supply containers, fuel bladders. In other words, their supplies and the base structure itself to make a strong signal, get those Yankees the hell out of your country. If you have them in your country, that means that you support them. That means that you support Israel, the little Satan, and that means you support the big Satan. That's how I see it. So, yeah. But,
Yeah, no,
You don't like the
it's
look of
just.
both of
I
them.
think someone mentioned earlier on how, I don't know if it was you, Salim, and you said how Trump has been
UJ was alright,
the bully,
but
right, in world politics. And listen, I'm
it's
not
a
the
bit
biggest
it's a
criticizer of
bit
Trump. I'm not Trump's
sketch
biggest
for me.
advocate either. But and then you
So
said
break
something
structure
around
tagged into that
how
demand
is it?
zone.
How can
If
we
you'd have
perceive
entered
that
off a day where
this
I'd
person is
break
the
even
biggest bully
trade.
in the world with
Guys, really
tariffs
quickly,
and
I got breaking news. It says
yeah, go on.
so UK arrests 4 people on suspicion of spying for Iran. That's crazy. Yeah, right. That's some massage shit. Well, I don't know. But I just thought that was
Break
interesting.
structure. No.
Have you seen anything like that,
No clean
Salim?
entries anywhere.
Well, anyway,
I
he's
didn't.
probably busy.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Can y'all
Go ahead.
believe can y'all believe the UK is arresting people for quote unquote spying for Iran, but they won't even name who they thought bombed a military base in Cyprus? All they said was, "Oh, it wasn't Iran." That's crazy.
I'm just trying to figure out like why would they be spying on the I mean, I don't know. I don't understand the whole spy shit. But I mean, I get it. I get every
We
country
got
thinks
unconfirmed
different.
reports of explosions in Cyprus, and Israel is bombing Beirut as well. Sorry, Chuma, go ahead, finish. What was your question?
Yeah, no, I was just saying before, echoing your point about Trump being this bully, but yet when it comes to Israel, everything changes. It's like, let's go forward and whatever Israel wants to do, let's. It's just very difficult to understand that. And do you know what? Sorry, I think Jay said a big thing here. Where did that, if that missile didn't come from Iran, where did it come from? So it's very to announce that to the world and not say where it's wild. To say this didn't come from Iran, okay, where did it come from? Let us know, give us some information. Don't leave these things to
Well, because
speculation.
there were a couple of there was so there from what I understand, I think there was a
There's news at
combination
10
of like
o'clock. We're
Hezbollah
bordering 9 o'clock
and
now, a few minutes from nine
Iran.
o'clock.
They were partnering on some of that.
London
So
opens,
I think potentially it could have
consolidated,
been
gave a
one
bit
of
of a push, now
those.
it's coming back into the
Um,
medium again.
and
Not
correct
much
me if I'm wrong, Sully,
direction.
but if you guys are
UJ
talking
looks like
about
it's going to do
when
shorts.
they had
It looks like it wants to go short
yeah,
right
they had
now.
looked and they said that it wasn't theirs. I
Possibly,
think
although I
that
would
was
prefer to go
Hezbollah's.
higher
I think it
and
might
give
have
me
even been
potential long. I
confirmed.
wouldn't mind if
But when it
it
comes to the Trump
kind of
thing,
took
you
out
know,
these
That
lows
that
and then gave
one
me a
that
chance to
one
go long.
we
I
actually don't
wouldn't
know.
mind that.
So I asked Daniel Davis this. I had him on an interview because this is one of the speculations that people are making is that the hit in Cyprus, Saudi Arabia, Azerbaijan, and possibly Turkey, Iran denied it. And so some of the speculation is that it was Mossad who did that. I find that a little bit harder to believe, but that is a position that Simon holds. And so did ask Daniel Davis that, the lieutenant colonel, and he said that he thinks it might be Israel trying to do a false flag to drag more people into the war. But this is just like we're just guessing and speculating, but this is just to give you like a few different ideas on what it could be.
If it was Hezbollah though, wouldn't the UK have said that it was Hezbollah? That would be my question.
oh, that was the UK one you guys are talking about? No, because the UK one was just the spy, right? Or maybe I got them mixed up.
No, so I was pointing out that yesterday, I don't know if you heard the news, Maze, but yesterday the British government came out and said that the drone that fired on the UK base in Cyprus did not originate from Iran, but they wouldn't say where the drone actually came from. So in my opinion, like if it was Hezbollah, then they probably would have said, this was Hezbollah, but they declined to
Oh, I
say
got you.
where
Yeah.
it came from. That's
Yeah,
why I
that is
think it could be
interesting.
Israel. So yeah.
That is interesting. But just on the Trump bit, I think it's just important to understand that like it's not I don't okay, some I really don't think that there's like some sort of twisting his arm. There's a lot of post, let's just say war incentive for him. There's, a lot of money to be made. His job more than anything is just to sell it to the American people in a
Well,
way that he can keep his
GU
cult,
shorts were brilliant.
aligned with him,
It tagged that
which he's
demand
not
zone and then
even
it dropped straight through it,
doing the
but it
greatest
didn't give a
job with
clean entry,
that because I
unfortunately, so I
think
couldn't have taken
yesterday
that
he's
short.
seeing people I
Otherwise, I'd have
never
been
thought
keen on doing
would
it,
have
but
been
nope.
talking, or just,
Uh,
I guess expressing their anger with
the issue
him
is that you've
for
got
what
so
he's
many
been
little
doing.
supply
So
zones and stuff
I
like
don't
that
know.
on
I'm
M1,
starting
M2
to
that
believe, I'm gonna
it's
say something
so
really wild,
difficult to catch a
okay? But it's
clean
just
cut
kind of
zone.
where
That I
I'm
want
beginning to
zero
see a lot of evidence
invalidations in
pointing
my
to the
way.
fact that I don't
It's
know that
good, but it's
I
bad
think that
because
it's an
it's just
illusion that they're
difficult
separate.
to
I
get
think
a
they're the same.
clean
I think that the United States, not to say
trade.
that
Basically,
obviously
it's a bit
the people
annoying,
are
but it is
different,
what it is,
okay?
I
But
suppose.
I think that
No
there's
problem.
already a merging of power that's occurred and it's now just being formalized. If you go to congress.gov and look up legislation, just you're going to see tons of it, and it's literally the same way that you're seeing it, like US dash Israel. It's like one, they're strengthening the relationship on documents, just as much as it's been and the sentiment as much as it's been propagandized and put out there. The whole, so anyway, I just want to throw that out there. So it's not surprising to me anymore. But yeah, that's it.
The CIA and Mossad were founded at nearly the same time. So you're right. A lot of the governing structures, are tied together, and the organized crime networks, they're all tied together. So you're right, Mace. And that's not even to talk about the funding. So, but yeah, without diving too down my conspiracy rabbit hole, secret societies, Knights Templar, Freemasons. That's all I got to say.
Listen, never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, Chuma, I think it's very interesting what you were mentioning about you over there in the UK. I remember a few months ago they were talking about lightening sentences for violent criminals, so that way they could put in a bunch of people who support Palestine action, a bunch of old women, a bunch of elderly people that were out there holding signs. They were releasing violent criminals and reducing their sentences so they could incarcerate the elderly.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I'm not going to speak too much on the UK right now. I mean, it's part of the reason why we left the UK in the first place. To be fair, with regards to even basic things like safety. When it comes to taking a hard line, some of the decision making makes you question who you're taking a hard line for. Do you understand? So we weren't waiting around to find out. Because it's just not too. It's not very safe out there, and that's fine. It's like things. It's what you do when things do when there are criminals and they're doing criminal things. What are you doing to give them a consequence and also show society that you actually value people's safety? And my answer was not really much at all, which is why we left.
Let's go
I feel
to
you.
Frankie. Frankie, Money, Ibrahim.
Hey, I'm having a little issue with my audio. It's like playing double, I think. But what is that?
No, it's fine.
We can hear you.
I hear you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just try to like reboot my phone and I'll come back. Anyways, bye.
Okay, well, let's hope you can get back up. Um, let's bring some people up.
Breaking news, Sully. It looks like Jackson Hinkle is reporting that Israeli interceptors uh, are trying to protect the IDF headquarters right now. But yeah, he just posted that. So it looks like the headquarters is under attack.
Yeah, I posted that. I just didn't know if it was. I didn't know it was IDF headquarters. Thanks to Wally, I think it is. No, I can't even read the name. But anyway, love your work. I follow on Twitter. Have been for years from Australia. Keep up the great work. Free Palestine. Appreciate it. Bahuch, sorry. Appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
Can I just ask people, what are your thoughts regarding what a good outcome to this conflict looks like from where we are now, day 5?
I would love to answer that one. I would like to see a new security arrangement in the Middle East with the U.S. bases shut down. That would cost us a lot less money. It would allow, the Middle East to kind of team up. I think Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Iran, Pakistan, their interests are actually aligned. And I'd love to see them come together and create a new security arrangement based around BRICS moving forward. But I can see it happening. I just hope that the GCC can start to reduce their reliance on America. But the question is, do the Epstein emails kind of show us
Why is the audio gone? I think they're having an issue. Look at that drop on GU, man. And you just believe that? I said that, did I not? I wanted to short and it tagged that zone, caused an invalidation. And then obviously it dropped down. That I suppose you could use this zone. I don't really know if I would, to be honest. And probably would have got swerved unless GU had 0 pip spread, and it looks like it's got 0.2 right now. So odds are it probably would have got swerved. On Euro, the equivalent, let's have a look. So high low, high high, come took out that high, then made no entry at all, unfortunately. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So bring that over to 4 o'clock, because odds are we're not gonna push up high from here. We're gonna probably just keep trickling to the downside. On Euro anyway, and then let's just have a quick update on pound and stuff. They're ready on for New York session, so I'll just drag this over and this over. Big assy, man. Oh, yo. Oh dear. Hardcore spammage on the telegrams, damn it. Yep, I was right on the shorts on EGU, just couldn't seem to get in. Typical trading. It is what it is. What can you do? Literally nothing. There you go. Now he's reloaded it.
Framework to approach geopolitics, then everything will seem confusing. But once you understand that the US, just like a multinational corporation, they have 5, 10, 15, 20-year plans in advance. And they have to make sure everything is in alignment. The reason that they're attacking Venezuela, Russia, Iran, what do all three of those things have in common? They're all top allies of China, and they all supply oil to China. That's their ultimate goal, is to militarily, economically destroy China. But the U.S. realizes that they can't fight all these countries at once, so they're going in, descending order of strength, or I should say, ascending order of strength, to take out the support network of China to eventually try to establish a maritime blockade. That's what they said in Naval War College review paper entitled "A Maritime Blockade of China." Tactically tempting, but strategically flawed.
When was this?
The article that I'm mentioning,
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and send it to you. But this was also written years ago. And in
That
this
may
paper in 2018, they lay out. They say it's strategically flawed, but then they lay out in the paper, okay, this is what we need to do to overcome all of these, disadvantages, all these obstacles to implementing a maritime blockade of China. And then they lay
Hello
it all
guys.
out.
Hi. Sorry,
And
yeah.
I didn't see you
what we're
guys. My
saying is
bad.
exactly what's happening:
What's going
attacking
on?
Venezuela, isolating Russia, attacking Iran. So they
My
want to
bad. I literally wasn't paying attention.
economically and politically isolate China before they prepare for war. Not that
So basically, I wanted to
the
show
DoD
EU
already
and
admitted that they
GU.
would lose a
EU
war
was
against China, so
disgusting.
it's
GU was clean, but then
completely
it
out of the
didn't give
realm
me
of
a clean
possibility.
entry.
But
So
of course, imperial hubris
just the
and
usual in it.
Trump
Mambo, mambo.
overall
Karibu
strategy,
undugu.
they
Karibu
genuinely believe
undugu.
that they could confront China, but of course that's a
Mambo.
fantasy.
But can I ask you a question?
Let
What
me get the
benefit? I think
fuyo and the welcome to
preventing China from getting
spread me
higher
out,
end,
man.
there's a
Beautiful.
competition. It's competitive.
Guys,
I
this
think the
soundbar
healthy
is
competition
amazing, man.
is always a good
Really
thing,
good
right?
quality.
But like this idea that like, oh my God, China's the enemy. We want to go and like completely like just, pulverize them and whatever. It's
How
unrealistic. I
you
mean,
boys
the
doing anyway?
dependencies that we have on each other as nations.
So look,
I mean,
GU's
it
done a
would be
fantastic
ludicrous like
drop. Couldn't seem
to
to get
want
in there.
to, have
Obviously
them
M2's
collapse and fall.
easy.
Like, you know what I mean?
Actually,
Well, I
M1's
think
easier to show.
they
There's a demand
it's sort of
zone.
like the
Price
reason
come
that the
down,
United
tagged
States
it,
attacked
then dropped
Vietnam.
from there.
Is Vietnam
Invalidation,
a
of
threat to the
course.
United States? Of course not.
Couldn't
But
do
the
nothing with
idea
that.
of what Vietnam represents, the idea that a country can
Fine.
exist
Yeah.
outside of the economic and
And
political
then
framework that the United
Euro
States sets up, that's the
did a
dangerous
beautiful move
idea.
actually,
The
but
idea
once
that a
again it
country can
was
have
also a bit
sovereignty
tricky to get
and
in
they
on
can
Euro as
decide
well.
for themselves
See
what to
that?
do with the
No
treasury.
entry at all.
That's a very dangerous, notion.
So I
I
agree
do
with you.
have a
I
way
think
to
that
enter a
there's
trade, yeah,
fear,
where
right?
you
And I
set a
think
buy
that if you were
stop
to look
or
at
a
like
sell stop. So when it
who
breaks
would
that level, it
be king
automatically
within the
triggers you in.
polar world, it would be
But your
China.
SL's double, triple the
With them
size, and I
kind of
just
like
don't
the
like
ones that
that. I
are
don't like that.
equivalent in tier. But I do think
I
that
don't want to be exposed in the market. I want to be
there's
like the least exposure I can have is
a
what I would
hierarchy
prefer.
of sorts, and I think that like the Vietnam
What are you
thing
looking
was
at anyway, Mangi? You
much
looking at
more
anything
about like
on
you gotta
the
look in
charts?
Operation Gladio. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
Iran
And see
hit
how
them
he's
hard
a
moments
lot of
ago.
the things that they
Hit
told
them
us the
really
Arab
hard
stories
like
about
10, 20
harmony, but
minutes ago.
whatever.
Another barrage of missiles.
That's
And
just
they're using a new
something
barrage of
that was
missile, yeah?
used as like the
Where
great
it's got
scare
they call it the cluster head. So the
to
head launches
get people's support for the
more
war. Now, it
explosions.
was communism
Like,
happening
so you
over
got one
Gag
missile, it's probably
and
got
all of
like
that, but I
30
do
in the
think
front of
there's
the head
more
of the
to it than
cone,
that.
and then it
I
like
didn't really
30
deep
explode from
dive into
there.
Operation
But
Gladio,
this
but I
time they
do
used
know
one
that
that's
there's a
even more
lot more
aggressive, and
weaponry
it's a
than
new
there.
one that they've not used before.
Yeah,
But I feel you.
So Iran's back to
yeah, and
back
I gotta
throwing
push
new
back just a
missiles,
little bit
new
on,
cluster
the
heads, and
theory that
stuff
it's
like that. And
all
they're just
about China.
annihilating
When you
Israel,
look at,
annihilating them.
the war with Russia, for
The
example,
explosions are massive.
European elites have been obsessed with trying to, invade and balkanize Russia for centuries.
Yeah,
Napoleon did it. The British tried it. Hitler tried it back in World War
I see
II.
that.
So European elites know how much natural
Saad
resources
wanted to take a
Russia
buy from
has
around here somewhere.
outside of Africa. I think it's
Saad wanted to
definitely
get in
one of the
around
most
50,
resource
90
rich
to about
places
78, I think.
on the earth.
This sort of level, Saad
And
wanted
if
to
you
get
look
into a
at
buy.
what Iran represents over in the Middle East, Iran is the only country. Well, it has the most powerful defense on defensive capability in the region, and it doesn't really align with Zionism. And I think the whole idea is
Bro, they're
that
doing very good.
the
Iran is
elites
doing
over
very
here in
good. I
America
think
are
there's a lot of help
using
from
Israel
like
as a
China, a
proxy, in
lot
my
of help. So
opinion,
they are kind
to
of lucky,
destabilize the region, to make
like
sure
because
that
they
they
are
can
getting a lot of help
continue
from
to
China.
take
So I think
advantage
there's
of the
there's a lot going on
resources
there, obviously.
that are there. And Venezuela, again, it's simply like them not wanting to bow to
Yen cross
American
says I wanted to go
imperialism,
long. Want to
because
see this
they're like
invalid zone fail,
they're
but
like the
looks
only
like it's not
country
gonna
in South
fail.
America that wouldn't allow American companies to come in
How
and
are you
like
anyway,
do
Harune?
everything. So I don't necessarily like. I'm sure there's a factor in it that they work with China, but one of China's biggest suppliers of oil is Saudi Arabia, and they supply more oil to China than Iran did. They supplied more oil to China than Venezuela did. The only country that supplies more to China now, I believe, is Russia. So and we're
So
and
you agree with me?
yeah, I
That's
agree
what I was
largely
saying.
with Mace. Yeah,
But
I
Hey,
agree
look,
with you, Mace.
but then
let me
So
just
that's
say this to you
presupposing
really.
that the leaders are thinking rationally.
Hold on one second. This is like kind of breaking, but it's very interesting because we were just talking about it when the general was here. I mean, it just came out, but so an informed IRGC source says that all missiles used so far, except for a very few cases, except for in a few cases, have been from 2012 and 2014 production batches. It is expected that in the coming days, more advanced missiles will be used and unveiled with longer range and likely in smaller numbers for precision strikes. Didn't you just talk about this with the general,
They shot
JP?
down another fighter jet as well.
yep, I did. And they're playing it like extremely smart right now. And again, like, if depending on how things go with Russia, like, I don't understand how that guy truly believes that Russia can't go any harder than they're going in Ukraine right now. But
Wow.
like, they have the most advanced missiles in the world. Like, they've already transferred some of their weapon systems outside the country.
Yeah, stop
Belarus
mutmashing
has
much chat. Hey,
Oreshnik
you
missiles
dirty guy.
right now.
You
What
dirty
happens
guy.
if Russia gives Oreshnik missiles to Iran to convince
Hey,
them
you
from,
dirty
to
guy.
stop them from getting nuclear weapons? Because the next
Hey.
Ayatollah coming in is going to be faced with that decision.
Hey.
Do you go forward with nuclear weapons, which will instantly probably start
I
a
don't know if you guys
nuclear
knew or not, but I
arms
got
race,
banned in it.
like all across
So
the Middle
I'm
East?
on the
But
YouTube chat
it might
now.
be able to contain the spread of that if Russia says, you know what?
This is
Don't
watching on
go the
YouTube in it.
nuclear weapons route, but we'll give you Oreshniks to defend yourself. Like, the power of the impact of those
They
is
have some
similar
idiot
to
people on
tactical
there, bro. I swear
nukes.
to God,
And
proper useless
Ukraine
people.
has been really quiet about how hard they've been hit by
Banned, yeah,
those
yeah.
Oreshniks, but
I don't know if
they
you looked at
spook
the
the hell
Discord or
out
not,
of
but I got
everyone.
banned
And
from the
those are
stream
true
in it on X.
hypersonic missiles that can be maneuvered
And I
while
had a
they're in
tiny
the
bit of
air.
beef with one of
So
the hosts.
if
But she,
Russia got
in
those
all
from
honesty, she
Iran,
was a bit of a
they
bitch
could instantly
and
start
annoying.
striking our aircraft carriers,
So now I'm just watching on their YouTube, so there's a bit of a
and
delay.
downing them with one shot. So, again, what Iran is doing
Bro,
right
do you see
now is
Dan
already
Blazarian calling out
impressive,
Mufti Menk?
but
That was
depending on how
hilarious,
that
bro. I
relationship
rate Dan
between,
Blazarian. He's more
Russia and
Muslim
China
than a
grows,
pen
it can
flipping
continue
shiuk,
to get
however.
more and more impressive. And real quick, you had mentioned those military drills, all right, the naval drills, right
We're gonna
before
start a
the
new
war
stream in a
started.
moment.
Those actually were not in response to the escalation between Israel and America. Those are naval drills that happen, I believe, annually, anyway. So, it's not like they were doing it to, like, show off or be a show of
Ugh.
force. But I always thought it was unlikely for Russian and Chinese troops to be on the ground unless American boots, do hit the ground in Iran, and then I wouldn't completely rule it out. But the more I think about it, the more I lean
My
towards
monitor's gonna
them
be
just
here
continuing to
soon.
arm
My
Iran
monitor's gonna
more,
be
because
here
that would probably
soon.
be just as effective as sending their own boots on the ground. But if Russia gave Iran the Oreshnik missiles, game changer.
Yeah, man. Um,
Let's hope not.
Yeah,
yeah.
and at this pace, they'll be able to outlast like America and Israel for sure. So, I don't know why we decide. Well, I do know why we decided to go down this route, but
I think the only
it's
trade,
just
as you said,
sad,
is probably the
knowing how
shorts on
little
gold
our
and
leaders
silver at the
care about
moment.
us,
There's
and
nothing
that's why
really
I
else
think
available.
the intentional strategy here is to crash the American dollar, like Bitcoin and gold. I don't know what exactly their off ramp is, but they don't care about the American dollar, and they definitely don't care about the American middle class.
Well, so they're weakening it. I'll explain some of that in just a second. I do see Carl here. I wanted to say hi to him and give him the mic, but they're definitely weakening it. They're using Bitcoin potentially as like reserves, but usually at the state level. I don't think that they're actually doing the big Bitcoin reserve thing. They're backing these state with the Genius Act. Well, I'll get into that in a minute. That's a lot, and I think we don't want to move too far away from the war topic, but there's a weakening happening for sure. Carl, is your hand up, or did you just come up and say hi? Or
It was up, yeah. Yes, I
how
come
are
to say
you? Good to
hi,
see you.
assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem. Yeah,
Ramadan Mubarak.
I wanted to say a few words, if I may. I want to speak to anyone who has good in his heart, whether you are
Can't
brown,
even hear the
black,
guy.
white,
His
communist,
mic is so low.
so-called right, so-called
I literally
left,
can't even hear
Muslim,
him.
Christian, Shia, Sunnah, whatever you. If you have good in your heart, I'm talking to you. Okay, the Judeo-Anglo-Saxon Empire, okay, have a fight against all of you, no matter who you are, as long as you have values, you have traditions, you have a little bit of decency, they fight against this core
I think he's
of
Nigerian.
being a human. Okay,
A
they
human.
spread
Yeah, he's
they
definitely Nigerian
generate
or
ways,
something.
like, okay, they fight all of you. Okay, every human being, if he's a human, they fight against you. They fight against your nature, the natural society structure, okay, etc. Okay, now let's focus more on Iran. Okay, it's not that it's a Shia Sunni thing, right? They killed millions in Afghanistan of the
Millions.
Shia. Okay,
Bro, I love the
they
African accent,
killed
man. If it's
in
like
Iraq
Nigerian or
millions.
whatever, sometimes
Was
it's so
Saddam
funny.
Hussein, was he Shi'i? Uh, okay, what about Gaddafi?
Okay.
Was he Shi'i?
Okay.
It's not about that. It's about if you are have a little bit of dignity, freedom, independence. That's what it's all about. It's not about democracy or tyranny. They love the greatest tyrants in the world. It's not about nothing of the sort. All the
You
concepts
need
that
a
built
Nigerian wife with a big
Judeo-Anglo-Saxon
bunda.
empire
I wouldn't mind
created,
marrying a Kenyan
theocracy,
or
democracy,
something like that. I
many
don't have an issue
groups
with black people like
are
that. I think
only
they're alright, man.
to destroy you and to
Bro,
kill
some black
you
people are fit.
and
You
to
just gotta find them
subjugate
in it.
you. Okay, it's not for any other reason. When the Judeo-Anglo-Saxon talk
But I
about
wouldn't mind like a
values,
Kenyan or a
it's only
Nigerian
for
or
one reason: to say that you
someone
don't
from
have these
Ghana.
values, and therefore I need to kill you. Okay, you need to
I
understand.
wouldn't mind.
So it's a war against
Yeah, they're alright,
humanity.
man.
Now they cross the limits, I'm hereby begging to my Iranian brother never to have any ceasefire until
And he's
all US
satisfier?
presence
What?
in the region is finished. No embassies, no bases, no US presence in the region. They need to be considered as enemies until the Jewish entity in occupied Palestine is finished with. There will be one Palestinian state. The Jews can go back to wherever they came from. Okay?
Okay.
If they
Well,
until
just so
then,
you know, Carl, I think Suleiman.
until then, no ceasefire. They will lose. It takes patience. They are going down. The days of the Judeo-Anglo-Saxon Empire that terrorized the entire world.
Hey, you want the Kenyan
Okay,
body,
for
eh?
300 years. We
Hook
have
me
the
up, Mwangi, hook me up.
Judeo-Anglo-Saxon
I'll
Empire.
hook you up with the
In
UK
Carl,
visa,
so you
man.
October,
know, though,
they
just
finished the reign, the cycles of empires. Never, in whatever circumstances, we are winning. We are winning. Thank you for the mic, Jum'ah Mubarakah.
All
Ramadan
right, love
Kareem.
you, Carl.
Guys, got some breaking news. I didn't hear
He's
any of
funny.
that
That guy
what you
was,
said,
man.
but
That guy was funny. I rate him.
just got
Hey, you
some
want a
breaking
Kenyan
news.
buddy? Eh.
The what's it gone? What's it gone? What's it gone? The representatives of the leader of the revolution was it Israel? What's it gone? Israel is bombing the southern suburbs of Beirut right now. We
There's
also
money
have
more of it.
visuals of major
Oh
attacks on
shoot!
Beirut. And like I said, look,
I got rid of
any
the.
views the speakers say,
Where's all the
obviously we're
yeah.
not responsible for. That's their own positions and
There.
ideas and thoughts. Another drone incursion into the Golan. Um,
There's no bloody
Did
trade.
you see that
Wangi, where did you get in shorts? What
satellite that
price?
showed the damages to the oil facility in the UAE
yeah,
following
I
the ground
posted
attack?
that. I
Oh, you
posted that
did?
one. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
Unless this is another one, but the one I posted about 6 hours ago, right? Let me just see. Actually, I've just seen someone post. Yeah, I posted that one. Yeah, I just seen it. Okay. Guys, retweet, reshare the space. We are live. Let everybody know we are live. Uh, Quarter with the space and let everybody know we're live. We've been trending on X because of you guys, trending all over X. So do retweet, reshare, and let everybody know we are live. Our space has been trending on X for the past 3-4 days, actually, for various other things. So that's pretty awesome. Let's go to Ibrahim. Ibrahim, jump in.
Hey guys, I appreciate it, and congrats on the space being trending. It's well deserved. I don't know
Yeah,
what's
what are
going
you
on with
laughing
X
for?
lately. It
Why are you
seems
laughing?
like they kind of changing the algorithm,
5188.
making it hard to get news, or harder to get news than the last
5188.
time.
Oh
I like
shit, you
that
got.
conversation you guys were having as to what's the cause of this, whether it's on one hand China is the enemy,
You mean
or
you
on the
got in
other
all
hand
the way from
is
over here?
America trying to build world Zionism. Um,
Nice,
I
Mawangi.
think
Okay, yeah, take your time,
I'm on
take
the
your time.
side that it makes more sense that they're trying to build, the
That's a
Zionist
good trade, bro.
empire.
Hold that bad boy. I don't know how much long
And
it's gonna go down though,
we had the
but
Abraham
that's a good trade, man.
Accords.
Well done.
So much effort and war gone into
Nice.
going to war against these countries in the Middle East. And if we look at why I don't think it's the China thing, is because I mean China is treated like royalty in terms of actions. You do have a lot of rhetoric against China, but in the United States, when the president of China visited California, they like gave him like such a huge red carpet. They like brought out all the bells and whistles for the president of China. Um, China's freely able to conduct business around the world. There's no war propaganda against China. They're not censoring Chinese ideas. You have Chinese media and investments all over the place, and China's really flourishing. And I don't think they're really now. You, I guess you can make the argument long term. China might be on their list to limit, but if that's the case, I mean, they're really putting a lot of effort into the Middle East in order to prop up Israel, and they've been doing that for years. When it comes to Russia, some people have speculated that the war in Ukraine was just to distract Russia, so that it will lose Syria, which seems to have happened. I'm not saying that that's the case, but it seems like that. I mean, that's a theory out there that seems plausible. Anyone that tries to trade or prop up or ally with any enemies of Israel automatically becomes enemy number one. And if you look at who they're going after, mostly in terms of actions, I mean, we saw with the Gaza genocide, they basically threw away the First Amendment, and they started arresting people for speech and deporting people for speech. I mean, it's unprecedented actions being taken that have never happened in the history of America, just to prop up Israel. And yeah, so that's so I would agree that it's more so everything we've been seeing happening is more so
Haruna,
to
you still
prop
here? I
up
was gonna
this
ask you something.
Israeli project in the Middle East.
Awesome. Let's go to Geo Nobody.
Yeah, just to add to that point where you said it was to um, prop up a plan in the Middle East. If you remember in 2024, when Netanyahu made a plan to make a railway or a train line from Gaza to Saudi Arabia, where the Neom project was, where it was the line. Uh, and if you see Saudi, they paused the Neom like I think a year ago, a couple of months ago. So maybe this whole war with Iran was rushed because Saudi couldn't afford to wait any longer with the Neom project. Just wanted your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I don't get. Yeah, what the Saudi can't wait for the Neon project? Did you say?
Oh no, the Neom project when Netanyahu said he was going to make a railway station from Gaza to Saudi Arabia,
Yeah, yeah.
and then just suddenly a couple of months ago they
Cancel.
basically put the whole Neom project on pause.
Ah, okay, okay. So you think what that the Neon project is going to be brought back or something?
Yeah, I think it's going to be brought back because they didn't completely abandon the project. They just said it was on pause or something like that. And
Cool,
Saudi, obviously, like they're not
cool.
totally against
Amazing. Can you
Israel.
just take over
They
for two
just
seconds? Yeah, sorry, do continue.
Yep, I got you. Go ahead. What were you saying? Who was talking? Sorry.
oh yeah, finish my point.
Okay, sorry. I was not by the phone when you guys were talking, so I don't know where to pick back up from.
I can
However,
riff off. I can riff off what he was saying. Uh,
okay.
you know, like, yeah, like,
Not by the phone when you guys were talking, so I don't know where to pick back up
I
from.
can riff
However,
off. I can riff off what he was saying.
okay.
You know, like, yeah, like, we'll have to see, but I mean, the
I
investments
think Arun is not here. He's
being done
probably
by all these
don't
GCC
know much and gone
states
bed.
into the United States, you know, it does point to um, America trying to maintain its hegemony in the world, but at the same time, almost trying to get investment money that can help prop Israel. But I wanted to relate it, see what everyone's thoughts are on this. Was COVID? You know, I never really thought. I didn't know what to conclude on COVID, but it seems like COVID.
Ibrahim, the
Yeah.
space is not about COVID, bro. You can do a separate space on that. The space is about the war with Iran. Uh,
Well, I'm relating. I was trying to relate it to this though.
yeah, of course you can relate anything to anything, bro.
Sure.
Um,
Okay.
okay.
Well, there was really quick. If you want to know about this news, Qatar. Did you have something? Sorry, go.
No, no, go for it.
Okay, this is that Qatar's energy minister warns oil prices could rise to 150 in 2 to 3 weeks if tankers remain unable to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. And there was also this breakdown of how I have to find it. There was a breakdown of how the insurance was going to work and how much the taxpayers, because he's socializing that, which is crazy. And then, anyway, but I'll add that in a second when I find it. But back over to you.
Yeah, let's go to Andy. Andy, jump in.
I mean, yeah, it's really yeah, it's so funny that we're living in like two completely different realities. I know I've said this a couple times, but it's just funny. I mean, you have this one guy who's literally saying it's so funny and how all these people you have real people actually think Iran's winning, and then he responds to someone in by saying like, "Oh, a bunch of Tel Aviv was destroyed in the 12-day war," and he's like, "Tel Aviv was fine. I was there," and it's like you're not really helping your case by not proving that you aren't a paid influencer by literally saying you are in Tel Aviv. Like, come on, dude, you're really not helping your case. It's just it's all so tiresome. I mean, people and they don't really get but what winning means. Like Iran's not going to come and invade another country. Winning for Iran means the regime survives intact versus winning for the US means turning Iran into a failed state or installing a regime. Because I mean the original objective for the US was installing a democracy. So anything short of that pretty much is a victory. Like if the regime survives, that's a victory for Iran. but we know Trump's going to try to do some cop out where maybe if they don't invade and be like, well, we destroyed their nukes, integrated their missiles, so we won. But if the regime survives intact, that is a victory for Iran.
Yeah.
And the MAG influencers will try to say, we destroyed 90% of their missiles, we won. I mean, if the regime's standing, that's a win for Iran at the end of the day.
Okay.
If US troops have to
I
invade,
was
that's a win
saying,
for Iran.
what are you planning on doing then?
Yeah,
Are you gonna get a
possibly,
new
yeah.
account, or are you gonna wait
You
another
think US
week,
troops are
or
gonna
what?
invade?
I
I
advise
mean,
you to wait another week and
I
see what's
don't think
what's
so.
the
It's
direction with
entirely
gold.
possible. I wouldn't put
Because you trade
anything
gold in it,
stock
so
today
it'd
at
be
this
better for you
point.
to
I
just wait
mean,
another week.
Netanyahu's it's Netanyahu's decision. If
Boss,
Netanyahu
I was
says
asking what
Trump,
you
he'll
gonna
say
do.
Trump. I mean, there's also a ticking timeline for Israel. I mean, Netanyahu is up for election on the 27th of October, so that plays into all of this. He's trying to stay out of prison, don't forget.
So do you think he cuts a deal and takes down the sanctions on Iran, or do you think Iran just settles for not getting the sanctions lifted?
I just don't think Netanyahu is going to be happy regardless. Like, it doesn't matter. That's the crazy part. See, that's the wild card for me because I don't think they can go. They're not going to go boots on the ground. Like we've gotten so many expert opinions around that. I think maybe Pete Hegseth's bloodlust would be a very dumb decision. But you can't. You're not going to sell that to Americans. I promise you. Now, without that, it's very difficult, even in reading these documents, that to have a regime change. Like you can't really force that unless
Small
it's
buys
just
and
it's
come in. Oh yeah.
impossible to really pull that off. You can insert, you can get the uprising, you can get the kind of encourage it, you can give them intelligence assets and place them in there, but yeah, so what does that look like? I mean, I just think that they're going to have to do some sort of negotiation. That's the only way out that I can see.
So guys, just a quick one. If you're on the YouTube,
Silver's done a big
I'm
drop.
gonna just about be ending the YouTube and then starting the stream again. So if you're on the YouTube,
Right, so he's already cut the stream there. I'll wait for him to start the new one.
Everything in this U.S.-Israeli versus Iran war is
Hey,
going to come
what's
down
happened
to
here?
one
Just
major
gone over to
issue:
another
the
random
missile.
video. Oh, but the Lieutenant Geyser. The Lieutenant Geyser.
We can fix the situation in Cuba, but we will finish the task in Iran first.
That was the old stream. Let's just wait for the new stream. I'll be here in a momentarily. What you want about me or someone else? Look at the chat, you joker. Sorry, I'm looking. I mean, I'm asking you. What are you gonna do about getting the challenge and stuff? Because I was saying it'd be good for you to take another week off because it's a war. I haven't traded a war. You haven't traded a war. You trade gold. So it's probably best you just take a week off again, another week. I was asking, what do you think you're gonna do? Are you gonna buy an account or not? And Mwangi, yeah, that's the same price that Thingy was gonna buy in buy his account at, buy gold on it as well, same level.
yeah, especially
I
the
know. I
U.S.
mean, I don't disagree. But I just
Okay,
don't see an
perfect. There's a new
invasion, a ground
stream.
invasion being possible.
Because
Quick thing. One
The-
didn't
I can't see,
wasn't Delta Force just recently completely ambushed and annihilated? And that's, I mean, if that's the best that the U.S. military has to offer, then I shuddered at the thought of the regular infantry.
Wait, that was real? I thought that
well,
was fake news. Was that real news?
I've seen multiple
so it's got look.
people on the ground reporting it. I got to check it out. I'll send you some information.
Okay.
Look, the two options America's got now
I'm
is
looking at
retreat
news
or
as well,
double
innit?
down.
One sec.
There's no other option. I don't see a third option.
because
Explosions near
from
airport in
Iran's
Iran.
perspective, real quick, it unless America agrees to withdraw,
Nothing new
the bases from the
from a
region
news
and to end
perspective.
all the sanctions on Iran, if they were to stop this war, they're just kind of setting themselves up to
Might get
be
one
attacked
next
again,
week.
within the
Okay,
next few years,
been
and
like 4
they've
weeks now.
already taken a lot of
If I
damage.
was
So I
you,
don't know how
just
quickly they can build
wait
back
one
up.
more week in it.
Like
Just wait
after
one
this.
more
So
week.
strategically
If I was you,
speaking, if
5 week
they
off the
end the
charts is good,
war,
bro. And it's
for
Ramadan as well.
anything less than that,
Or if I
and I
was
know
you,
this
right
is
to the end
easy
of
for me to
Ramadan,
say
just take it
because
easy,
I'm
just
not
chill,
in the war zone right
do
now,
rosé
but
and stuff
if
like
you
that.
think
Take it
long
easy after
term from
Ramadan.
Iran's
Go back into it
perspective,
hard,
it
because
just
then you would have
doesn't
had like
make
a good
sense
6 weeks
for
or
them
7 weeks
to
off
end
the
the
charts,
war
innit?
if
And
American
that's a good
bases are
period of
still
time,
going to
bro.
be in the region and they're still going to have those
60 days off
sanctions
the
on them.
charts is
But
a
that's
good period
just
of
my
time to
opinion.
detach yourself from the markets, if you get what I'm
Beatrix
saying.
is
I don't know
here.
if
Hi, good morning. I
But it's
just
up
want
to
to
you,
say hi to
obviously, but
her.
that's my advice.
One really quick thing I just want to say is that if
Even me,
there's
like, I'm
full scale
very
ground
careful
invasion in
right
order to
now
achieve the regime change, they're going
because
to have
of like
to
anything can happen. And I'm not
install a
even trading
pro
gold.
US
You know what I
government,
mean?
follow it with occupation and reconstruction. I mean, it requires massive troop
Oh,
commitments, and
flip's sake,
it's
Beatrix
just
is
a,
back.
basically a
Oh,
very
God, no.
long term effort in which we were never successful in the previous times. I just don't, I don't see them doing that this time again, you know?
I
What do
actually
y'all
see it
think?
as I actually see it as quite likely, to be honest with you. Surprisingly, I think it's very possible. I would say there's a good chance of it. I wouldn't say it's like more than 50%, but it's definitely not less than like 20%. I think it's very possible that they
That's
would
what I
have to
would
do a
do.
ground division
It's
because
up to you. It's your choice,
the
innit?
issue
But
they've got is
just
that
sit back, build
Iran's not
experience,
losing
look at
control
what
by
the
Iran right
market's
now,
doing. How is the war
and
affecting everything? What's the impact? What's going on?
oil's kind of supply
Why? Like, because
being
bear
supplied
mans are
from
going
the
to get
rest of the region
liquidated, bro. Bear mans are
that
going to
is
get
typically going to
liquidated.
divert to China and Russia, but no one else.
Because you
If
just think,
that
oh, we
empire
got a
splits,
war, let's go
and you
long.
don't get control of
Mm,
that, then it's the
it's
end of
not
your
working,
empire.
is it? Because the market
So
already priced it
they might have
in,
to do it.
and we've got big
Oh,
margin
I see
calls
what you're
happening right
saying.
now,
So
which is
you
why we're
think
seeing
that
gold, silver
if
sell
they
off quite a
were,
bit.
you think
It's
that's what the
understanding the
reason?
context, innit? It's good
You
to just
can't
sit
have a
back and just
situation
watch what
where
happens
you're
and
the
build knowledge.
you're the global hegemon or global empire, and somebody else comes and says we're going to control the access to energy for the global energy. It just doesn't. It's not possible. That's why I think. I mean, Professor Zhang, I think contradicts a lot. Has a lot of contradictory stuff he says, but this specific point, I'm starting to see some sense in it, where he says he predicted that there would be a ground invasion like 2 years ago, and there's like this is insane. Who would do this? But then, remember, we said at the start of this war that this is insane as well, because if you're going to go in here, they're going to hit your assets, your bases. You're going to get your Mossad and SCI bases hit everywhere, and this is going to be an economic catastrophe. Oil prices are going to go up, gas prices are going to go up, economic collapse of Europe. It's just a stupid thing to do, but they did it anyway. So so you're at a stage where you have to double down. It's like it's called the sunk cost fallacy, right? If you're gambling, if you stop gambling, then you have to accept your losses and the damage that you've
US
caused.
yields pushing gold down.
But if you continue, then you can claim that you're going to recover somehow, and you see that also in Ukraine.
The thing you have is, yeah, in
Okay,
times of
guys.
war, dollar
The
strengthens as a safe haven
YouTube
asset.
is right live. The tweet
But
is in the nest.
the issue you have is we
We're
already
on
knew about the
day
war.
7
We
of
already
the
knew about
war.
Middle Eastern tensions
So
and
if
stuff like
remember,
that.
YouTube is live. Yeah, please let everybody
We
jump
had the
in. Anything
warships in
that
the
wants to
Middle
be done
East
by
as
the
well
YouTube, they
for
can.
2 weeks before the
And
war started, so
guys,
we already knew.
first of all, go to the YouTube channel and follow it. That's the minimum you can do, guys. Come on. Although you helped us become trending on X, now help us blow up on YouTube. So the first thing is follow the YouTube. Listen, well, people are listening on YouTube. You can do that. That's your own choice. But follow the YouTube channel and send it to your friends and families, the normies. Normies may not know about X because it's too political, too complex, but they know about YouTube. Everyone's got a YouTube. So do the YouTube and get people to follow the YouTube. Let's try and get this up. I think we're on like 43,000 followers on YouTube. Let's try and build that up as well. So if you can do that, if you can share the YouTube, follow the YouTube, that would be awesome. Okay. Is Beatrix here or is she still on her 90-day break?
It's been 32 minutes. She still has 60 seconds to get, you know what I'm saying, her tea
Yeah, she's
together.
been on a 32-minute nap.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And so, like, can I just briefly respond to what Andy said as far as
So
the
it was already
Iranian
factored
leadership
in the market. Yeah,
situation?
exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
the early reports were that the Ayatollah was killed in his home. I mean, for God's sake, the man's 85 years old. You know, I feel like at a certain point, that's no way to live, to be curried from bunker to bunker and safe house to safe house. I feel like in some ways, he kind of accepted that if he's a target, then that's how it is. And then the next day, a reporter asked Trump, "Well, what do you think about his replacement?" And this is right after they had bombed a, a meeting of all the top leadership. So is that going to make them more willing to negotiate after we just not only killed the spiritual religious leader, but then all of the political elite of the country? Or the miners?
Bought oil at 74, lucky. But remember me and you was talking about buying it at like 55 or 65, whatever it was. And we got swerved hard. We got swerved
You know, if I could
hard.
jump in really quick, I wanted to respond to, you know, Maze's comments about boots on the ground. You know, if we did
Look at
actually do
EUGU, bro.
that,
Look
don't
at
you
that.
think
I
that could
called it as well,
actually
man.
you know,
Damn it.
speed up you know, what you've been warning about the incoming technocracy? Because if there's a poor American middle class, doesn't it make us a lot more susceptible to, you know, programmable stable coins and all the other things you've been warning people about, Maze?
What was the last question? What was the part of the question that you just asked
So,
about the
all
technocracy?
right. So if we have a strong middle class and, you know, the government says, hey, we're going to give you guys, you know, $1,000 a month for groceries, but you can
Was that
only
Brent oil or
spend it at
crude?
Amazon and Walmart,
WTI crude in it.
you know,
I think
like,
Brent
which
oil's
will
been far
essentially
better.
kill all of our middle class businesses, drive
Yeah,
out of
look, yeah,
business
look at that. So
smaller
61 and
supermarkets, then,
58.
you know,
Bro,
like,
just imagine.
if we have a strong middle class, people are
You would
less
have been up
likely,
so much.
you know,
Oh,
to accept that. But if we're
you would have
poorer
been up, yeah,
because
8
we've
or.
inflated our money away, spending it all on war in Iran, then, you know, doesn't it actually make it
You would have been up
easier to roll out the
9
technocracy
or
that you've
on
been
the
warning people about?
61 entry.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a
And they're like
compilation of
8.6 or on
things.
the 58
What's
entry. Look
also
at that go.
contributing to that,
So
I
you
mean, the
bought in at
tariffs are
74.
going to end up
Yeah.
being this consumer
Yeah.
tax. I mean,
Oh
the
well, it happens in
affordability
it, but
crisis is
good
being
trade, man.
exacerbated from all angles. And one of
Flip's
those
sake.
things, also, in addition to what, let's just say they're reshoring some
I think
industries and really trying to
Brent was
promote
better, to be fair.
domestic production, which is fine. That's great. But a lot of that is going to be done, and it's going to be
That's
automated
87.
AI and
Would
robotics.
be
I mean,
massive,
it's going to
yeah.
be
Both of the trades
massive.
are
It's
like
going to
8,
start
9
for
R, bro.
themselves.
Both
Not
of
to
them.
mention, all the
Big
boomers are going
move.
to be all
Big
retired
move.
by 2030. So I think that this kind of creates the predicament and the situation. Like you guys notice that he keeps hinting around to potentially getting rid of income tax. Well, the reason why is because they
I
understand
don't
that
see a
there's going to be a
reversal
point
happening
in which
anytime soon
there's
on
not going to be
GJ,
much
man. I
income
really
made.
don't.
I know that sounds
Gold's
crazy,
dropping
just with
down
the
more and
wage,
more
the
and
wage
more.
earners,
Silver's
and
done a
whatnot.
lovely
So
drop
if you
there.
think about
Lovely,
that,
lovely
like all
drop.
these, and then he even says, "Oh, I'll give you guys dividends off of the tariffs." I think that that's kind of all hinting around in the
We've
same
come
thing,
into
and that's
this
going to
level
be the
right now
opt-in, where they're,
on here. I
when they
don't know
extend
what to do
something,
with
what I would say the
UJ
system
here. Do I
is
wait for
going
price
to
to
be
come, take
extended to
this high, and then
people in a
keep going
very
higher? Does it
attractive
take
but
the high to come
discriminatory
lower?
way, where if people want to get that check and they want to get those payments or need UBI,
I'm
then
not
they would opt in.
sure.
So I think that yes, those are the factors that are contributing to that.
Got it. So you don't think they need the Iran war, and we're already on track for that regardless?
Yeah, I actually am
Hmm.
intrigued by, I think, I don't know if it was Hassan or who was talking about it, but I do think that there is an element of wanting control of the strait. I think that might really have a lot to do with it. I know that we were already headed in that direction. This is something that has been a geostrategic positioning that's been in the works for decades. I would say going back into the 80s they've been planning. I know that sounds crazy, but there's pretty much pretty documented, they've documented all of this along the way. I think that this was just a plan, and definitely a lot of it has to do with trade. A lot of this has to do with countering the Belt and Road Initiative.
I'm gonna sit on
They want
M15 now
they
because I think it's
with
gonna be hard to
the
find anything
amount
on
of
lower time frames.
geopolitical
Just sit on higher time
influence that
frames, have a look
China's
at
getting
price
across
action.
150 different
Might as well
countries.
close half the accounts
They
down. There's
are
no need to have
basically
them
building
open.
out the infrastructure, and there's just a lot of soft power that they're getting through this, and this is something that will be a monopoly without IMEC. And that's the whole. I think the Suez Canal was kind of also one of the reasons that Palestine was selected, for the Zionist endeavor. So I just, but yeah, I do think that that was going to be coming down the pipeline anyway. I don't think the war was necessary for
What?
that. I think it was
Hezbollah
necessary
may
for
be
the
preparing
trading
to invade
system.
Israel?
Yeah, I
What?
mean, and the only way I would see it really accelerates it, is the number one, the inflation it could cause. Number two, if there are mass protests against the war, because I do agree with you, it'll be unpopular. That might give them, an excuse to really accelerate things. If we get to, a martial law type situation, which is something, people like Godfrey have been, warning about for a while. So, but I'll let it go to the next speaker. And yeah, appreciate the conversation.
Hey, did you hear about in April 2026? They said, which is right around the corner actually, they were talking about the National Guard. Hegseth was just asked about this yesterday. Geez, I can't remember the name of it. I'll get it and I'll come right back. Go ahead, Andy.
I mean, the whole thing about invading to force the Strait open is stupid because they could just do sanctions relief. But I mean, again, it all comes down to what Bibi would want. And this is all it's. But I am. I mean, everyone's concerned about the whole technocracy and the whole martial law thing. I mean, that would have seemed crazy a bit ago, but I
I'm
mean,
not sure on
they
UJ what to
literally are
do
calling
once it takes
the
that
MAGA
high.
influencers calling that veteran that
Whether if it's
protested
gonna go long or if it's gonna
because
short,
his life
not
was now in
really too
opinion.
sure, man.
So that they're, I mean, if they're using that, they're going to literally say everyone who protests the war is an anti-Semite, which is completely ridiculous. They're going, I mean, all of us are on a list. Let's not kid ourselves. And I'm proud to be on the list of the side of being a patriot, regardless of what country you are in for opposing this. So good for that. And I mean, the way this war
GJ
goes is going to have some
possible
unpredictable consequences. Like if this
and the
gets
EJ. Let's have
ugly,
a look
I
at
mean,
Euro
Vance is cooked no
JPY.
matter what. I mean, he's not going to get any young people to vote for him. But if this gets ugly enough, it could
Dude, that
honestly
high there
blow up
looks
in their
so obvious
faces,
that it's
and
gonna get
we could
slapped,
end up with the Thomas
because it's
massacre,
literally
put the
made equal
Palestinians
highs
on.
right here, bro.
So this could
1 high there,
honestly
2 high
be like a
there, 3
grenade that
high
blows up
there,
in their
4 high
faces and
there.
actually
So to
gets
me, it
justice
looks
in America
very
First
obvious that
campaign in
that zone's gonna
2028. So
fail,
this is
bro.
kind of this could either accelerate towards the technocracy or it could
That's what I was hoping for GJ to
accelerate
go up
towards
in it.
ending
Because you got
Zionist control.
Frankfurt
Like
high,
it could
Frankfurt
literally
low. I
go
thought
either
London's gonna
way.
come
I
take the
mean,
high, but no, it took
I
the
hate
low
to
in it,
keep
which is
referencing,
fine, no
it's
problem.
kind of like
Um,
hate to keep referencing Nick Fuentes, but he said once the die is cast, you have no
and even
clout
you, Lord UJ's
you
done
can't
it.
control the outcome of a
But I
war.
think
You
it's just the
can't.
case that
It can,
dollar's just strong and
there's
everything
no
else is just
controlling
weak.
what's going to happen.
It's just fine, I suppose,
I
ain't it?
love the
It is what it is.
optimism, and I think, I'm not even gonna shoot it down. I love the optimism, and there is always wild cards in situations like this. I think looking in the long haul, though, there's also a lot of money and investments, and but who knows? Yeah,
I
I
have
mean,
no clue
I
why
would,
China and Russia
but
haven't given
real,
Iran.
just really
That's what's.
quickly, I just have a couple of breaking news. Just really quickly, I'm gonna give it right back to you, Andy. So China is in talks with Iran to allow Qatar export gas from the Strait of Hormuz, because Qatar was what was the last numbers? Okay, their energy minister warns that the oil price could rise up to 150 in 2 to 3 weeks if the tankers remain unable to pass through the strait.
Not in
And
2
this
weeks.
is going
Probably
to
longer than that.
cause a whole lot of issues there. So there's also
We're already 1 week into
Bahrain
the war and it's
says
only around
its military
85.
destroyed 78 Iranian missiles and 143 drones since the attacks began. Okay, oh yeah, here it is. So now the Qatar's energy minister was talking about how the Middle East could bring down the economies of the world. And it's there's this little piece that I'm gonna read. It says, predicting that all of the Gulf energy exporters would shut down production within weeks and drive oil to 150 a barrel. Saad Al Kabi told, I think, Financial Times that even if the war
Today that I
ended
see we're fighting
immediately,
is
it would take
fucking,
Qatar weeks to
exterminating
months to
Israel.
return to
I mean,
normal
I would
cycles
sign
of
up tomorrow
deliveries,
and go
following an
fucking put
Iranian
boots on
drone
the
strike
ground
at
and go
its
fucking kill
largest
Israelis. That would be
liquefied
a
natural gas
great day
plant.
for me. I would
Qatar, the
fucking
world's
sign up
second
on the
largest
fucking
producer of
draft
LNG, was forced
waiver
to declare
wherever. Give me a
force
fucking give me a rifle and send
majeure.
me
I
the
mean,
fuck over there.
Dan Brazilian's a G.
I truly believe that the majority of that country is evil and they're perpetuating a genocide. They've been operating
Yes,
apartheid. They're
Dan. I
suppressing
read
the
this guy, man.
Palestinians. They're attacking their neighbors. They're operating like terrorists. They're fucking arrogant, ungrateful bastards, and they need to be wiped off the fucking map. I mean, honestly, the only
I love you, Dad. I love you, Dad.
Ross Laffin plant. 6 days left in their reserve. So this is a pretty big deal, guys. And I think we're going to start hearing more about this in the coming days. But go ahead, Andy. Did you want to finish? I see so
Yeah,
just his hand up.
I was just wondering, like, I keep wondering this. I mean, why the heck is China and Russia, honestly, if the strategy was to bleed the U.S. dry, not give Iran like more missiles or something at the beginning to deplete the air defenses or whatever. I mean, that's what I personally would have done if I were Putin or Xi. But I mean,
Okay, it's
again,
given
I
a
don't know.
reaction. I'd like to
I
see it
think
come
part of
down
it
and then
was they
push up.
wanted to make sure that the Iranian regime, no, sorry, the Iranian government would hold up because I think a lot of people saw what happened in Venezuela and they just kind of collapsed and sold each other out. So I think they wanted to make sure Iran was going to hold strong, but it wouldn't surprise me if they do, come in with more supplies. But China has been providing some advanced, technology to them. But I think they've held off a little bit on direct military support so far.
All
Yeah,
right,
I'd love to
breaking
see.
news really quickly. Sorry. Azerbaijan is withdrawing its diplomats out of Iran. And also, this is interesting. Hezbollah's elite unit announced that it has infiltrated several cities in the north. This means that what Israel feared most, is actually going to happen now, which is a ground war. Go ahead, Andy. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I'd just love China to give some missiles so we can get some food in Tel Aviv, but maybe that's wishful thinking.
Iran, boomaye.
You want Russia to
Iran,
give those
boomaye.
missiles. Russia got some heavy hitting missiles, man.
I mean, yeah, either one. I mean, either one has better missiles than what Iran has, but I mean, especially, yeah, Russia, from what you were
What are you
saying
talking
earlier,
about?
has the
Iran's got
rest of the
great
world.
missiles,
So,
you
yeah, that would
idiot.
be
We've not been
awesome.
seeing anything.
The reports that are coming out of the reporters. So there were reporters that were allowed in Iran.
Gold is still dropping.
And the
It's
reporters
nearing
that are
your
coming out of
50-80
there
zone,
were in
Mwangi.
direct contradiction to what
It's nearing your
I think
50-80
the
zone. It dropped down
media is trying
to
to show.
83.
They're trying to show
And now sat
Iran in a
around
state of
85, so it's close to
distress.
about another 30 pips away.
And so it looks like what's trending actually is the news reports that's showing the exact opposite, which is interesting. The
Even
reporters claim,
CNN, you saw that, Maze, the
yeah,
CNN guy on
yeah,
the ground.
yeah, exactly. It's funny.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. If you guys, I didn't post it down the purple pill, but like the CNN reporter is on the ground in Tehran, walking around, essentially saying things look normal, like over there. Obviously, that's not all of Tehran because they have been taking some pretty, big hits, but just don't forget, Iran is a huge country. Israel is a tiny country. Iran can
Yep.
absorb these blows. Israel
Yep.
can't do it for much longer. So Hezbollah moving
Exactly.
in
That's the point I've
to
been trying to
northern
get to.
Israel is actually major news, and I think this raises the chances of a
This is what you were
U.S.
wondering about
boots
as
on
well,
the
innit,
ground
Mwangi? I
invasion
told you
because I
that they're
just don't
not
see
suffering that
Iran
bad, to be
stopping at
honest.
this point in time unless they
The
get
densely
everything they
populated
want.
places aren't
And
that
does
much
Trump have
either.
that type of humility? Can anyone picture Trump caving to what Iran would need to really stop this? I personally find that hard to believe.
Bro, I did not know this, but today Trump had a bunch of evangelical pastors. He hosted evangelical pastors um, to come and pray. And this is what's
What
crazy.
a guy.
Gosh, the wording. Christian pastors blessed Trump to fight against the followers of Allah. What the fuck is that? Allah is the translation of the word, sorry, excuse my language, is the translation of the word God. I can't stand these people sometimes, I
Well,
swear.
when people
Anyway.
say they're the Antichrist, like sometimes they're, uh, you know, sometimes they admit it themselves. They slip up a little bit.
Who? Oh, you mean their Messiah, Mashiach?
Yeah, I mean the
Yeah.
Zionists, the fucking the Molag fucking supporters, worshippers.
Yeah, but
Um,
don't use the curse word. No F words on
oh, I'm
this.
sorry, Maze. I want
Okay.
to ask you, what do you think about the idea that um, we know that this is going to be disastrous for the global economy, but it usually when there's large economic shakeups and downturns, the people are hurt, but the banks and the multinational corporations make off like bandits? Do you think
Yeah.
there is some element of them wanting to intentionally uh, crash the economy so that they can pick up the rubble?
Look, this is a very, very
These things are just speculation
strategic.
and
Not
stuff like
only
that.
are
The
they
wars happen
making
for
this
whatever
all in
reason it is. We
place,
already
that's
know why.
really
Now this is
I
just all
guess,
profiting off of the back
in
of
a
it. That's
way
all it
how
is.
that is going to make the debt
They're
cheaper.
getting
Believe it or not,
too
but they're
conspiratorial.
also
Too
growing the
conspiratorial.
disparity between the haves and
What's
the
the word to like
have-nots
say when
because
someone's
what the
too
future
conspiracy
and the
related?
way that they
I don't
see
know
it
the
with the
bloody word.
tokenization, this is fractionalized ownership, right? Like it's changing.
Whatever the
Everything's
word is anyway.
completely shifting into a new system, all on the blockchain, all this. So without going into it too much, um, they are how we currently have entitlements and benefits and all of that is now through these public-private partnerships going to be set up as an investment opportunity. And what they'll be doing is eventually kind of through the fourth sector putting these
I'm gonna cut the stream in about
privatizing
2-3 minutes
back-end
by the way, Mo, and
securities
give it
and
out
turning
two
them over
past
to
ten, so I'll
horses.
cut you out
So
about
just
five
like we've made
past.
war very
Because no trade
profitable,
anyway is there,
they're
bro.
making
So
poverty very profitable.
do you know what?
And
I'll
so
wait till
what I
quarter
do
past
see
just
is
in
this
case UJ takes
gradual
Asia high
move
and
into
then he
that
gives the entry
direction.
because he could do that in 12
And so
13
when we
minutes. So
say
I'm gonna
crashing
wait
the
for UJ.
economy,
I'm gonna wait for
there's
UJ
this
just another 12
beautiful little
13 minutes.
balance that they have, especially
Then I'll
that
probably
they're
cut the stream
capable of knowing where that line is that is putting the stress on people like me and you and everybody
because
else,
UJ might give
which they
something.
would absorb without any issue. The price, the inflations. Go ahead, Zoj. I see your hand up. Sorry. Is it Zaj?
Awesome, awesome.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Zoj, no, I've spoke to you a few times in spaces over the years. Crazy stuff. I mean, I know a lot about the blockchain side of things because I wrote a wallet for XRP, the automatic market maker and stuff. But
Uh-oh. Where'd you go?
Yeah, I dropped him because he's just probably gonna promote some crypto fraud. Let's go to Ray.
Oh.
Yeah, I ain't
That
gonna let
was
anyone
kind of
promote
judgy, you know what I'm saying? Kind of
promote.
judgy, you know what I'm saying?
So they
That
just
was
block, but then they have
Yeah, no,
idiot
this I'm
people
talking
on the
about
stage the whole
wallets
time
for
talking
crypto on the
bullshit.
space. Go ahead,
What's
Ray.
going on with this guy, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Hey
Yeah, doing
Ray.
good. How you doing?
Big shout out to everybody on here, man. Y'all doing God's work, passing the good information to
Oh dear.
everybody. I'm not gonna take much of your time. I just have a quick question and like a follow-up question to it. In terms of the countries like Saudi Arabia, Oman, Bahrain, Kuwait, the UAE, and Qatar, and I might even include Jordan in there. Um, do you like as with all that's going on up until today, right? We're on day 7. Do you think that they would better off with a regime change in Iran so that they're not attacked, or do you think it would be better for them to not have U.S. bases in there so that they're never involved in any conflicts in the future? You know what I'm saying? And the follow up is, do they even have a choice to not have U.S. bases in their land? You know, do they have the authority and the power to stand up to the U.S. and say, hey, you guys been here, we've been doing business, but this is it. We cannot have you guys any here any longer. You know, what do you think is the best for them in terms of those countries not being attacked? Their safety.
Yeah, the best thing is to remove
Have a
Israel
great
from the equation.
weekend. See you Monday. Bye. Yeah. Hopefully next week you start catching some trades. NFP will be out the way. All that data will be out the way. Hopefully you can get a bit more
Absolutely,
clarity
that'll
on
be
the
a
war and
problem
start
because right
catching into
now
some trades because the
we give
market
all
has
the
been a
money
bit
to
better. I've just been a bit
America with
mindful
hopes
that
that America could protect
what
them,
could happen. Because look
and
at
now we
GJ,
find
man.
out
Clean.
that they
UJ.
can't protect
Clean.
them. Now we find out that
GU
actually they're a
EU
target
clean.
for having this
UJ,
relationship
sorry.
with
Yeah.
America, so it's not going to
So
happen.
it is flowing in one direction more
So
clearly.
the
So
right
hopefully
thing to
next week
do
will be
is
better.
for
Touch wood.
them to
But I see
remove
you later
them
anyway,
from
Angie.
this
Thanks for
market.
coming, man. Hit like if you
But
haven't,
what we
innit?
actually will
Thank
do
you.
is keep them because they're just
I'm gonna
cooks.
stick around for another
So that's the
9
reality of the
minutes and
situation.
then close the stream if I
No,
don't
that's how
catch
it
a
should
Will
trade.
be.
will they?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, do they even have the power to stand up to that? And say, hey, y'all gotta leave. Y'all too much trouble in
Well, the
here.
problem
I
is
mean,
that with a
you
lot.
wouldn't be
Yeah, good question.
you wouldn't be worried that they can be overthrown from
Exactly.
holding power.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. That's the reason why they can't take them out because
The thing is, like when they try and take Iran's government out, they just can't do it because they're not integrated within the government. In these GCC countries, especially the daddy of the GCC, Saudi Arabia, these guys are integrated so much within Saudi Arabia that they can just wipe anyone out, including MBS. And so MBS is beholden to them. And they demonstrated it when in the 1970s, where they assassinated the ruler of Saudi Arabia, and that they claim it, well, there wasn't, but we all know CIA was behind it. And so they're just scared. They're scared that they're beholden to the US to keep them in power. So that's the reality of the
Yeah,
situation on
fair
that.
play.
But let's bring it in. Oh, where's it? You drop now. Okay,
You
cool.
know, really quick, do you think the Epstein situation has a lot to do with that, Sully? Because there were a lot of ties to Saudi intelligence also, and to the whole Epstein circle too. So I feel like there and the UA there was a businessman from the UAE that also got named in there too. So it might not just be assassinations; it might be like blackmail
Change
and all that,
operation
kind of
wasn't
keeping them in
going
line
But
well.
the
too.
problem
It
with
was
that
losing
I mean,
momentum.
that could
And
be
in
over
order
time,
to
but it can't
inject
just be Epstein
energy into
because
the Iranian
these guys have been under
revolution,
the
which is
finger
like the
since the 70s. I don't know
OnlyFans,
what year
uh,
Epstein was born, but he wasn't.
feminist
No,
liberal
that's what I meant though.
revolution
The
and
circle,
slash
like
monarchist
I know you don't
revolution.
like talking about her book, but Whitney Webb's book did go into the history there, One Nation Under Blackmail. So
No, wait, why are you saying I don't like talking about a book? Why are you chatting nonsense?
I'm just messing with you, man. I know
All right.
she got the beef with Ryan, but
All right.
yeah.
Well, we stand with Ryan. We don't stand with this chick who literally malfunctions as soon as she's asked a question and gets confused. We don't stand with a chick who got absolutely destroyed by Michael Tracy. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I
Oh
mean,
my God, your boy had a whole meltdown just because we said Epstein might not be dead. So, I mean, I just gotta throw that out
yeah,
there.
because he's smart. Because he's smart. He knows what he's talking about. He knows you cuckoo people take things down the
Whatever.
illogical path and the way to destroy. The reason he won in 9/11 exposed him is because he wasn't coming up with this whole Alex Jones. There was no planes or there was no hijackers. Can't mess with Ryan Dawson. He's the number
Yeah,
one
but you
guy on
did,
it.
but okay, you're right about that. You're right about that. However, he did say that he thinks that Building 7 actually went down because of the flames.
Yeah, that's fine. That's his position. That's his position.
I
But he's
know, but
debated people on that
it's
position and smashed them.
impossible.
Whereas
It's impossible, but okay. But I do like
it's
him.
not.
I love Ryan Dawson.
It's not
Don't.
impossible, but
It is impossible.
it's not impossible. But it's that it's more likely that there was something else that happened to it. But it's not impossible. Um,
So you don't agree with him either.
no,
Is
no,
that what you're
I'm
saying?
not an expert. I'm not an expert on 9/11, so I haven't looked at that aspect in detail. So I can't really say.
You can't defend your boys on everything, Sully. Come on now. Sometimes you got to tell them they wrong.
No,
He's going
I'm saying
down
I'm
with
not
the
an
ship. He
expert.
doesn't
I'm not an
care.
expert on 9/11. If I'm an expert on something, I'm an expert on geopolitics. I'm an expert on history, so I can smash anyone on all those points or philosophy or whatever. But I'm not an expert on 9/11. My knowledge on 9/11 is very basic in the sense of I've watched, obviously I've watched Ryan's documentary. I've read Ryan's stuff. I've read I read some of Whitney Webb's articles, which were okay, but I haven't really gone into it deep, to be honest. Um,
Oh, well, I got like 6 or 7
but
likes on this
that's why I
stream.
wouldn't
That's
debate.
good.
Like I wouldn't
Happy
debate someone
days.
on 9/11. Do you know what I mean?
Right, another 5 minutes. If I don't
Yeah,
catch
Sorry.
UJ breaking those highs, then
Well,
I
just
won't be
really
able to get
quickly,
into anything. So I need to give
the
it
guy
another
was
5 minutes, and then I'm
literally
basically done.
he's messaging me. He's like, I've been following you guys for a long time. I was about to get right back on topic. I wasn't even going to talk about that. Anyway, I think we should maybe give him a chance if you don't mind, but I do think that uh it was a premature
Yeah, why
dunk.
not just give your opinion rather than tell all this nonsense? Okay, that's it.
Because I was talking, it was my fault. I was talking about the how we were transitioning into the blockchain stuff. It was, I think he was just kind of
Okay.
tying that up before he went
George,
into
go
the.
ahead, give us your thoughts.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, I just wanted to close that out because it was a topic, but I know you like to stay on course because I do
Yeah, you
listen.
know
I've
what it
been
is? It's
listening
just
for
Floyd.
years.
It's just
Yeah.
that basically, over
Hmm.
these last 3 years, there's a lot of people being involved in a lot of scams on these spaces through these fake charity funds and through crypto and various things. And like in these 3 years, one of the things we've done in our platform is we've never allowed any of that stuff. And so That's why we've got our credibility, because no one's got scammed. Whereas everyone's trying to scam everyone in other like spaces or fundraisers or whatever they were doing, and or in these crypto stuff. So that's the reason why I'm a bit strict on it. But that's all it is. But go ahead.
100% agree. A lot of it, and where I come from, I'm a legend. I did good, but aside from that, I just want to say that turnabout's fair play on all this. Like Putin just could have the biggest shit-eating grin if he starts supplying them, like some people have been saying. But how do you negotiate with America and in good faith after all of everything that's happened? Like, so that's mainly my question is, no matter what America tells you to cease and desist, if you're Iran, you're looking at that going, okay, maybe you just want, to pat us on the head. And we know that you're going to be back in 3 to 5 years to try to overthrow us again and just randomly like launch attacks, kill our leaders, blow up our people. Where do you see this actually like ending? And for an American win, the only thing I can think is complete subjugation, Gaza style annihilation. And at that rate, like I don't understand how you can like just blow up the unarmed ship, do all this crazy shit, and attack people that you're negotiating with and things like that, and then show them like complete dishonor in combat, brutality, and then think that like there's ever going to be an end to this. Like if there's no decency, whatever happened to like prisoners of war and honor in combat and these kinds of things, if we set these standards for like annihilating buildings, civilization, people, all the way to literally just a field of rubble and buildings, how do you ever see conflicts ending when those are the terms? Or that they're going to come back in a few years and start up more bullshit as soon as they resupply their carriers and their crap to send more over. I can't quantify it, so I figured I'd throw it at all these people who probably know more.
But just quickly to respond to that, Zoj, I mean, we're talking about now the U.S. When they hit that completely defenseless, unarmed Iranian vessel that was conducting a training exercise, maritime law requires that you at least attempt a rescue of the sailors. Um, we're talking about now the U.S. is stooping lower than the fucking Nazis. I mean, even the Nazis,
Absolutely.
obeyed
Yeah,
that
that's where
basic
I'm
principle of
going with it.
maritime
I'm like,
combat.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like there's no more basic like they're not being civil at all. Even like there was this kind of stuff in wars. That's how wars ended up getting resolved. Like they even had a day of peace in war and ate meals with the enemy in some of these ancient battles and whatnot. There's just crazy stuff. I can't believe it. So I'm just completely at loss on how something like this ends. And also what you were saying earlier, they said early on that it's like 30 days or 40 days the analysts were all quoting before Europe is in complete meltdown because just that 20% supply through that strait, like everything that we have running is running on a fucking thread. And I'm telling you, in America, we feel it. It's like crash out zone. It's been hard mode since COVID, only getting harder and that kind of stuff. So you mess with anything anymore because all efficiency has been being stolen and siphoned off by the banking system and all this interest on everything and derivatives bullshit. So like, what the hell? How do we like actually end this without one side being annihilated to dust?
Right, we're done.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I agree. I feel the
Well,
pressure
I'm
is
cutting the
it's
stream
that's
here.
why people
Peace
are
out,
so
everyone.
outraged and giving him
Bye.
a very hard time. Guys,
Oh
this
wait,
is
let me
something that's
stop the
very
links.
interesting. Even though this came in yesterday, I just saw it. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but
1,
um this is a
2,
jaw-dropping statement coming from the
and
Russian foreign minister
3.
at
Boom. I'm gonna look for
the
New York, see what happens
I
after
think this was
NFP.
the
I'll see if I can catch a trade.
was it a
Obviously, keep an eye on
UN?
you still.
I think it
And if
was.
not, see what happens next week. Simple as
Anyway,
that. Peace out. Bye.
oh, there it went. Sorry. Okay. So basically